everybody, and welcome to a Carlito-less Celluloid and Scotch. We are joined after a year of me asking Jojo from Flix and Comix coming on because, weirdly, this became an event movie.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, there was some anticipation there for sure, but it's been blowing up for sure. People are really liking Nosferatu.
So I love counter-programming. I love it, especially putting out a vampire movie on Christmas Day.
That's so ballsy.
So
Like,
you remember the last movie that did that, horror-wise?
what was it? Was
Scream.
it
Scream came out
that's
Christmas
right.
Day.
That's right. Good call. I forgot about that.
And that was
Yeah,
the one
that did
where
so well too.
So, like, in the past, like, everybody in horror, like, if you put something on in Christmas or January, it meant it was gonna suck. Usually.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. Have you gone and watched other movies besides Nosferatu the past few weeks?
So, I have been not in the theater. I
Okay.
am looking forward to watching The Hard Eyes because I love a good Valentine's Day killer movie.
Right? I'm excited for
Like,
that too.
I love, ironically, Valentine. It's so bad, but, like, I will watch it. My Bloody Valentine,
Absolutely.
I've watched all of.
I love that
Um,
like 2000s era of horror. Like
So I
so
love the Black Christmas remake, not the one that came out from Blumhouse, but the one before that was like
I
batshit
actually
crazy.
I actually haven't seen that one. I need to get on that.
It's on Tubi. Of all
Oh,
things.
nice.
Yeah. Like it's so worth watching.
Oh, what are you drinking?
McCowan 12-year Scotch.
Cool. So I don't have scotch, but I'm a tequila gal. So I'm going to be
Ooh.
drinking tequila tonight. I have a little Hornitos black barrel here. So it's tasty.
So I splurged. My birthday is this week. It's Friday, so I decided to
Nice.
splurge a little bit, and I'm getting to talk about movies with a special guest. And this has been a actually surprisingly good year for horror. Like 2024
Absolutely.
and then going to
2024.
2025.
Yep.
I know like The Substance ended up being one of those movies that the trailer they were incessantly showing on YouTube was bothering me. And then I watched it. I was like, holy shit, this movie's fucking great.
See, that's interesting that you say that because I felt like I didn't see any ads for that.
Maybe it's
And
just the Google marketing to me, but like
probably, but like I felt like I went into it kind of blind because I just looked at the synopsis. I was like, oh, that seems interesting. And then
trailer
I
told me
went,
nothing. It showed
yeah,
Demi Moore and that was it. And it was just like the cost of beauty. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And then like word of mouth in the horror community, I love when it starts spreading around because they're like, hey, you have to watch this. And I'm like, all right, there's like 30 people I follow that started talking about this. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay. And I know you and I both talked about Smile 2 being kind of a surprise.
Oh yeah. That was also I actually procrastinated so hard on watching that movie
Same.
because yeah, the first one was okay and I had fun with it. Nothing to write home about, but the second one I kept hearing great things about it. And I didn't get to watch it till like a few weeks ago, not that long ago.
Yeah, I bought it blindly because it was like Amazon had on sale for that in part. What the fuck was that? Anyway,
It's a
between that
ghost.
and between that and part one, so I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna go ahead and order it. And then like it finally came in, I watched it, I was like, all right, like this is actually good. I went in with no expectations where like there's movies that people overhyped for me. I think I've talked about like It Follows.
Mhm.
By the time I actually got to see it, everybody's like, this is the greatest movie ever, blah blah blah. And I
I
watched it, it's
yeah.
like, okay.
I kind of had a similar reaction to you. I like it, but it was for sure overhyped, I think.
Oh, the Babadook too. Like I wanted to kill the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was a hard watch. It really was. But
There's also been some good like Shutter premiere ones this past year
recently.
because like Late Night with the Devil was one that like just
Oh
kind of
yeah.
popped up and it was decent. Like I had no expectations going into it. And A Violent Nature was another one. Like
Ooh, I love that one. Yeah, there was so many good ones this year.
that what was the foreign one on the farm?
Yeah, When Evil Lurks.
Yes. which was you didn't
Was that this year? I feel like it was last year
was
or
it
the year before that.
maybe
I don't know. Because I know it was released earlier on. It
time
was like, but then there was a re-release, which is when I saw it, and then it went to Shudder. So I get confused as to like when the actual release
so I
was.
think I saw it on Shudder in the new year, and maybe that's why I thought it was 2024 because I knew about it, but by the time it actually got to where I could watch it,
Yeah. But yeah, if we're counting that one, heck yeah, that's definitely a goodie.
and then
Um,
Heretic, which I can't
I need
really
to watch
classify.
that.
I can't classify it as a horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more of like a psychological thriller. I guess it would be what you'd put like Seven or uh Zodiac under, where it's just Hugh Grant is so good, and
Interesting.
I say like most of the movie is discomfort through dialogue because
Okay.
it builds tension, and he's so good in it. And I hate Hugh Grant, and it really conflicted me.
Does it have like Silence of the Lambs vibes?
No,
So it's
no,
more. I just don't. I don't know what to expect at all with this movie. I just don't.
it's better that you don't
Okay. I'm just gonna go into it
because
then.
it starts out very innocent, and it does like the perfect bit of like ramping up to like all of a sudden all this stuff starts happening and you start like second guessing because like all right, is this unreliable narrator? But I can't say enough good things about Hugh Grant. Like some A24 movies though, it kind of like misses the landing at the ending, but I don't think it
Okay.
hinders it as much as Carlito made it out to, but he hates A24 films.
They're kind of hit or miss for me. I've noticed.
But
But when they're good, they're really good.
our director who did this movie Nosferatu is
Mhm.
a former A24, which now he has big budgets to do.
Yeah.
Because I love the witch,
Me too.
when that
Me
came
too.
out.
I saw
And
The Lighthouse recently too. I hadn't
oh,
for a
so
long time.
good.
That is such a wild movie. Like, did not know what to expect, and even throughout the movie, did not know what to expect. It was so crazy.
It actually made me like Robert Pattinson because like I
Oh
really did
yeah,
not
he did
dig
such a good.
him.
Both of them were so great in that though. Like
And
the
Willem
acting was
Dafoe has now
wild.
become like Robert Eggers' muse because now he's like the guy who shows up in all the movies.
Yeah. I
So
haven't seen The Northman though.
it was okay. That was the first one where they're like, "Here's a budget, do something with it," and I was just like, "All right." Like, it was interesting. It came out that weird time of like COVID where nothing was really out because I remember I had to seek that out to watch it. Same with The Green Knight.
I vaguely remember the trailer for that, but
The Green Knight I had to hunt down. Like that was a hard
mm,
one for me to see.
I still also need to watch. Speaking of A24, Midsummer. I don't know how to pronounce it.
So that's a weird one because if you've seen The Wicker Man,
Hmm.
you've seen this, but this one is Midsummer's way more perverse.
Okay.
If
Okay.
that makes and for to go from Hereditary to like this, it was an
Hmm.
interesting move for like Hereditary to Midsummer. Um, I can't remember who the director was that did Talk to Me, but I want to see whatever they do next.
Oh yeah, I know. I wonder if they're working on anything right now. Whoever it is. Let me see if I could pull it up while we talk.
Yeah, I love that. So a little bit of history on Nosferatu because I was intrigued because I started looking up the original Nosferatu: A Symphony of Horror by
Hmm.
F.W. Murnau.
Hmm.
They got the shit suit out of them by Bram Stoker's widow.
Oh,
Almost every copy was destroyed because it was one of the first major copyright claims.
what?
Yes. Even though it changed the characters, it was still too close. Um, Film historian David Kalat states in his commentary track that since the film was a low-budget film made by Germans for German audiences, setting it in Germany with German-named characters made the story more tangible and immediate for German-speaking viewers. Even with several details altered, Stoker's widow sued over the adaptation's copyright violation and a court ruling ordered all copies of the film to be destroyed. However, several prints of Nosferatu survived, and the film came to be regarded as an influential masterpiece of cinema and horror genre.
I had heard of something but I didn't know the details. That's so interesting.
But it was a 1922 silent film, and the funny thing is, I remember my first introduction to Nosferatu was Queen's with David Bowie's Under Pressure music video, because they showed a scene from Nosferatu with the shadow.
I actually ended up seeing the movie that you showed me.
Shadow of the Vampire.
Yes. That was so fun.
I loved it. It's fun, but it was Willem Dafoe playing the actor that was playing Count Orlok, who's actually a vampire. So I love that they took
it's so
this
good.
twist.
Yes. That's so creative.
No, I want the makeup.
And it's so funny because it's hit. Like, he's always just gonna look like himself no matter what kind of makeup he has on. But like, I don't know, there was something creepy about him too.
What are the chances that Willem Dafoe would be in two different Nosferatu movies?
Right? Two different roles.
That was a fun, and there were so many people who could eat scenery, like chew the scenery, because I mean, you've got oh god, what was the main actor's name in it?
Shadow.
Oh god, he had John Malkovich. Yeah, you have John Malkovich in as the director. And then
actually, let's be more clear, because I know I just quickly mentioned it, but Dan sent me a link to a movie called Shadow of the Vampire, and I had never heard of it. I watched it the other day, and it's essentially a movie about the director of the original Nosferatu film. And it's almost like you're a fly in the wall seeing the production happening. And should we give a spoiler?
Well, it's not really a spoiler. They sell it real early, but Willem Dafoe is playing Count Orlok, the actor playing Count Orlok, but he's actually a vampire.
He's actually a vampire.
And there's this whole cat and mouse game going on at the whole time, because the cast doesn't know that he's a vampire, and they're like, no makeup. But
they are freaked out by him.
Yes, they're very freaked out by him, and
then weird shit just starts happening. And
so the movie has never been reproduced. It came out on DVD. It's never come out on Blu-ray. It's rarely on streaming. Some Kind Soul uploaded it, the whole film, onto YouTube.
Some Kind Soul. Dude, yeah, I'm so happy you sent me that link, because I'm gonna try to track it down. Let's try to track it. Do you have it?
I don't. Like, it is a ghost.
Let's try to track it down. That's gonna be like the goal for this year. Let's track it down in physical.
Well, there's another ghost movie that's very hard to get. Near Dark. You can't find Near Dark for under $100 in physical.
Near Dark? I think I have that on DVD.
Yeah. There's a Blu-ray that came out. It is a ghost.
I don't have it on Blu-ray.
So even the DVD is hard as fuck to find.
I have it.
Hey, Rod.
Somewhere. I'll try to find it.
It's a very hard. They're supposedly coming out with a 4K of it. 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later are also two movies that are never coming out in high def because they were filmed on handy cams. The entire movies were filmed on Sony handy cams.
Interesting. Okay.
And the new movie, 28 Years Later, filmed on iPhone 15. The entire movie.
Interesting. That's cool. Yeah. No wonder. Yeah, I remember the first one looking like
hold on.
It's good.
Sorry.
Like a Blair Witch style handycam.
I'm gonna walk away for a second. Sorry.
That's fine. But let's see the chat here while he's away. We got Chaos and Comics. What's up? And earlier on, we had Las Cruces. We have Unruly Simeon. What's going on? And Abe Sapien. Wow.
Got a lot of sapiens and simians.
Yeah, we do. We got Ricken in the chat. What up, Rod? And then Unruly
you guys just did a new show yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun. Go check it out. It's called Geek Pulse, and we just talk everything comics and movies. And then Unruly says it amazes me how many movies that are bootlegged on YouTube, and some of them last for years. That's awesome.
So I found a lot of them are. Oh my god! Yeah.
Let me cheers, you guys. I'm currently drinking out of my Pennywise shot glass. Although I am sipping, I'm not shooting. Just taking little sips here and there.
What? 38.
I don't have scotch, that's why. You guys know I like my tequila. Prefer tequila over anything else. But yeah. So yeah, continuing with this Shadow of the Vampire movie. It's from the year 2000. Great movie. Highly recommend. So glad Dan sent that link to me. Maybe I'll tell Dan to put it in the description, the link in the description. I don't know if YouTube will allow that. Because you know how YouTube is acting these days. They're crazy, but we'll try it. But yeah, it's starring John Malkovich. If you haven't seen it, John Malkovich, Carrie Elways, Willem Dafoe, who's playing Orlok, and then who else? It's a killer cast, honestly. So yeah, it's an underrated movie, and now I'm totally gonna try to track it down because that'd be awesome to own. I was gonna show him this one because I have not watched this. This is a blind buy. This one's called Nosferatu in Venice with Klaus Kinski. And I'll go ahead and open this because, like I said, I got it during one of the Scream Factory sales, and I don't know anything about it, and I usually don't do like blind buys like that. But I love the first one or the remake of Nosferatu from '79 so much that I was like, you know what? Let me try to pick this up. Who knows? I heard it's dorky and goofy, but I'm in. I'm sold. Whatever. You gotta do what you can.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I was just showing them this. Look. Do you know of this?
No.
Dude. Okay, so I was one of the Scream Factory sales. You know how they do like a semi-annual sale or whatever. So this was months ago. I saw this and I was like, I'm gonna buy it because like I like the first one so much. This is a sequel with Klaus.
Oh my god.
We gotta watch this.
So
like, what the heck?
I'm gonna try and see if I can share my A24 account with you because they gave me a digital copy so you can watch Heretic when you're on your trip.
Okay, yes, please. Yeah, because I'm heading out on Wednesday night. But
I'm so happy to be talking horror because this has been I've been trying to like talk horror movies.
I know. I always feel that way too.
But in the Shadow of the Vampire, we need to do a show on because like
oh my god, yeah.
I need to spread the gospel of that movie because I watched it when I had the flu 15 years ago. It's been that long since that movie came out.
It was such a pleasure to watch it. Like it's always fun, right? Because like we're fans of the original movies, I guess plural you could say, but yeah, to find stuff like this or Shadow of the Vampire, it's like it's so exciting. It's just goofy.
Did you watch the
fun.
Werner Herzog version of Nosferatu?
Yeah, well, that's the sequel. Yeah, this is the sequel to that one, which I actually also found on DVD the other day. This is the one, the original.
Yes,
or not the
Werner Herzog. Yeah,
yeah. So this is the first one, which is a remake of the 1922 version, and then there's this one, and I've never seen this one. Oh wait, no, this is not Scream Factory. My bad. This is Severin.
Oh, I have such a bad relationship with Severin because everything I've ordered from them has always taken so fucking long.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They treated me well, I guess.
Them and Vinegar Syndrome. I ordered a 4K copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 because Dennis Hopper having a chainsaw duel with Leatherface I live for it.
Yes.
But that 4K took almost 2 months to get to me, and that was in stock.
What the heck?
Yeah.
This didn't take that long. It was during one of their sales.
I've become a huge
that's the only reason
Arrow
I got
fan.
it.
I've become a huge Arrow video fan. And then Umbrella Entertainment, I've gotten 2 of their special editions. I got the Terrifier box set with the new slipcases.
I got it too, but I haven't opened it because
Oh, it's
me and Carlito were gonna do an unboxing, but he hasn't received his.
yeah, he said because he ordered the shirt. I think that's what's taken so
Oh,
long.
yeah, I got mine. Mine
I did
lagged
the
a little bit.
unboxing. I built the little Lego.
Ah, love it.
I got the glasses. But also they put out an amazing version of You're Next, which is one of my favorite horror movies. I shared that with Tessa as a nerd because she was
Yeah, I
like, "Give me a
remember.
movie to watch."
I remember
Uh,
that movie.
oh, I love that movie.
It's
It's
fun.
one of
It's a
those
fun one.
movies. That or Ready or Not. Ready or Not was a movie I did not know what it was gonna be, and then I
I don't.
watched it and I loved it.
I don't know if I've seen Ready or Not.
When the girl gets married in that family, and it turns out they have a satanic ritual with a board game where they have to do the different games, and a
Okay, I
sacrifice
definitely
has to
did
be.
not, but now I have to.
It is so worth it. It's a movie that when the
Okay.
trailers came out, I had no idea what the fuck it was about.
I
The same,
remember the name of it and like when it was out, but I never went to watch it.
and then
So
those
sounds like I
filmmakers
have
ended
to.
up doing Scream 5 and 6.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was the same
That's
film
a
company, Radio Silence.
radio silent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Oh, I didn't know that. All right. I'll go check that out for sure.
But
So I
also
already
the
have
actress
homework.
in it's so good. Samara Weaving is so good in that movie.
Nice. That's a definite to do on the to-do list.
So we'll
But
get into
yeah.
Nosferatu now.
Okay.
So we've done a
So
lot of lead up to it. So the first issue I had, and it's the dumb thing. So it and Bram Stoker's Dracula, outside of changing it from Germany and Transylvania, England, are so fucking similar. It's hard to disassociate. Some things this movie did better. Some things I thought Coppola did better.
mhm.
Lily Rose Depp is way better than Winona Ryder, in my opinion,
Oh yeah, I feel that.
accent wise. And then I got into who was the better Van Helsing character, Willem Dafoe or Anthony Hopkins? Because Anthony Hopkins was chewing the fucking scenery in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mhm.
Between him and Gary Oldman, it was like a contest of who could overact.
It's funny that you say you were thinking of Bram Stoker's because I was thinking of Werner Herzog's the whole time.
Really,
Yeah. Except for the
I
end is different.
well, I think they tried so much with the romance angle of it, and I think
And the
that's
new
what
one?
brought me to Bram Stoker's.
So that's the thing. It was I felt like I feel like Bram Stoker's one is it's like super sexualized, super sexually charged. But
And
this
I
one
think
kind of felt in the middle of the three.
so. The interesting thing was, so that's where it was because one was more of a romance, and this had a romance angle to it.
Yeah.
But the one thing it's really weird to disassociate is this Dracula, Count Orlok, does not bite the neck. So it's less sensual. He's like literally nibbling on their chest.
Right. Right.
And he doesn't become a sexy man.
Mhm.
He's got a mustache, which for some reason was a huge fucking deal on the internet.
What are your thoughts of that? Which I definitely am taking in your points about the sexuality and stuff, but I really want to know what you think about the whole design of Orlok
So
as a character.
part of me likes that they made him more of a monster because in every other version of it, he was inhuman. And there were parts where they really went back to the Herzog in the 1922 with the shadow play with the hands. And I love that. I think they showed too much of him too early at
Okay.
times.
Okay.
But I like that they gave him a little bit of like a hunchback. Like he had like a lump on his shoulder. They basically made him impossible to love, and I think that's what they tried to really push is why he was cursed.
Yeah, you could.
The aspect of his powers were not really explored very well, except that he used to be a mystic.
Yeah, I like what you said about basically making him more human in this. He just feels more like a decrepit old man with, like you said, a hunchback. Like he's carrying baggage, except they didn't really go into like him, but they don't have to. But it's just he seems more of like that lonely old man
He's
in
not a
his.
tragic character where Bram
Yeah,
Stoker's Dracula, they really made Gary Oldman a very tragic character.
exactly. So yeah, I think it's cool that they try to make it like historically accurate with the mustache and everything. I thought that was cool. I tend
Aaron
to like.
Taylor Johnson was interesting as character.
Yeah, I do tend to like the this version, the original like type of demonic looking guy better.
Yes.
But just because I think it's a little more sinister looking
The
and
long
creepier.
fingers.
Yeah, see? But
He's not a character who's looking for love either. He's
yes,
a monster.
yes. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like hating on it because it's different. I just think,
He put his own stamp on it, which you
yeah,
need
which
to
is
make.
fine.
And here's the thing, like Robert Eggers is a terrific director. He puts his own stamp on things. I can tell when it's a Robert Eggers movie that I'm watching. Like,
Hmm.
and I love
But
that I can tell.
but to your point before, I do think it's almost like he did put a stamp on the look of him, but the entirety of the movie did feel very reminiscent to the ones prior. And that's where it kind of like
An
was,
homage almost.
yeah, yeah, an homage. But it's also like, okay, well, how far are you gonna make it an homage? How far are you gonna follow the actual storyline? That's the tricky part of remakes recently. It's like you kind of have to toe the line, and I guess I wanted a little more from Eggers when it came to putting his own spin on the story, although I don't know. I thought it was good though. Like
So
overall, it's a great film.
once Willem Dafoe shows up, I'm fucking all in because he's got all his cats.
Oh,
He's
he was
crazy.
great. He was great.
Like,
Yeah. I think, was who had the best performance, do you think, in this movie? That's a tough one, actually.
so there's parts of me that say like Lily Rose Depp had some moments that I thought she did really well. And then there's some moments that are very cringy. So the part where she's ripping her bustier up,
Yeah.
they put the music of Hulk Hogan's I Am a Real American with her. So there's some cringe stuff. Nicholas Holt, I'm not a huge fan of, but he had a couple of good moments. Aaron Taylor Johnson had moments where I thought being this not sleeping crazed, especially when the rats come in and invade the entire city, which
Yes.
I thought was great.
Yeah, same.
Especially after watching Last Voyage of Demeter.
Did you like that one? I loved it. I liked it.
It had some moments, again, like the acting in it was a little, and I've become in my older age, I'm real fucking critical of pacing.
I feel that. I'm an editor, so I totally
Okay.
And yeah. No, I get that aspect of it. I can see why that would bug you.
Because I remember the person I went to see Nosferatu they're like, I know this movie was 2 hours, but it felt longer, even though it didn't go longer. There was parts that just kind of dragged. And I was like,
I could see that.
I get that.
Yeah, I get that too. But I liked it though overall. I thought it was cool.
So and again, I think the thing in my head is like I kept comparing it to Bram Stoker's, and they're wildly different movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's scenes that are almost shot for shot, but it's the same book.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have been homaging even that, because as you said, he was homaging all of these past works.
Mm-hmm. It really, watching all these movies the past few years or so, like, it really makes me want to go back and read Dracula, because
I did.
I read it back in college, but it's like I feel like I need a refresher because I barely remember anything. Like I couldn't tell you what's different from the book than the movies anymore.
So I will tell you the wildest movie to watch if you watch Bram Stoker's Dracula again. That Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro by Kenneth
I love
Branagh.
that one.
Oh my god, that fucking movie is bananas.
I love that movie.
It's just like when I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula, besides like Anthony Hopkins with that crazy, when they're at dinner, he's like, oh, I cut her head off and burned it. Could you pass that?
I watched that when I was a kid. Like, dude, that was my Frankenstein.
The Quincy in the Southern Gentleman, or I think it was Quincy in Bram Stoker's Dracula, always made me laugh, because then you have Carrie Elwes and then you have the rowdy American, and then they have Joe Buchanan in that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which, holy shit. Like, there's a YouTube channel called Movie Dumpster that put out shirts saying Joe Buchanan kicks ass.
Nice.
The only thing missing that would have made Nosferatu better is if they had Tom Atkins just randomly thrown in here.
I would love
Tom Atkins.
Oh, right.
I keep trying to get Carlito to watch Night of the Creeps.
Dude, it's coming out on 4K soon.
I pre-ordered it, and I also pre-ordered the.
Did you get the NECA?
I did.
I met him for the first time this last year. He was a wonderful guy.
He's amazing, and the stories, because if you ever get him talking about Creepshow, he talks about his experiences with
we were literally
coked out Stephen King.
Oh, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, I've talked about it when he smacked Joe Hill as a child in it. And I
love this story.
I thought Stephen King was coming over to yell at me for smacking his kid.
This story lives rent free in my mind.
It's wild. So he told this story also in the In Search of Shadows, the horror movies in the 80s documentary that came out. And like, again, that's a movie that whole Tom Atkins story lives rent free, because if anybody ever wants to watch Unhinged Stephen King, he did a trailer for Maximum Overdrive. He is so beaked out on coke, his eyes are bugging out. It's on YouTube. Please look it up. It is fucking bananas.
That guy is so weird, but it's so wild that he has so many classics under his belt. I need to go back and read all of them. I want to, because I never have.
Don't read Dreamcatcher, please don't.
Yeah, that one is. I've seen the movie. I didn't really like the movie. I remember that.
No, it was terrible. And the book is when he was after he got hit by that car. When he was jogging, he was so fucked up on painkillers.
Oh God!
Basically, he created creatures in the book that were actually to make up for his being constipated. Because of all the painkillers he was on. Oh my God. I'm not kidding.
I don't think you are kidding.
It's crazy. And even Joe Hill and doing cons, people were asking, they're like, what was it like with your dad? When he was fucked up, he's like, well, this guy got out of jail and somehow found our house.
That's the one.
And my dad sat on the porch with him. Shit weasels. Thank you, Unruly. That's what he called them, shit weasels.
So wait, shit weasels? What is that?
In the movie, the things that came out of the toilet.
I see.
Butt.
I see. Okay. Okay.
For anybody who came to talk about Nosferatu, we're still there. We're just kind of went a little off
Oh,
topic.
we go in and out. Yeah, this is how we do.
I need to have you on here more because so Nosferatu, Aaron Taylor Johnson, I'm not a huge fan of.
Okay.
But he kind of filled in for the Quincy Seward position in this.
Mm-hmm.
But his craziness as he was like lacking sleep, I thought was great.
Mm-hmm.
Are there spoilers?
We might.
We might near the end.
We kind of have
talking
actually
performances
already. We talked about his look, which is a spoiler.
Is the mustache a spoiler? Like, really?
It is. It is because they didn't show it in the whatever they didn't show in the trailer is a spoiler.
So the one thing that made me happy the last time Skarsgård played a horror villain, weirdly people wanted to fuck Pennywise. We're not getting this with Orlok.
Oh my god! Wait. Let's back up. What? People wanted to fuck Pennywise?
That was a whole Twitter thing. People were like getting into.
I'm glad I'm not on Twitter anymore. Jesus.
Yeah, like it was a weird thing, and I was like, oh, "Wait, what?"
No.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's attractive that he's able to play all these roles as an actor, but
so he's kind of becoming like a modern day Lon Chaney.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
and that's to really a degree. Cool. And
that's
honestly,
a good comparison.
The only other person I can think of is was it Doug Jones, who did all those Guillermo del Toro movies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here's another thing mentioning Guillermo del Toro. I started thinking about what if Guillermo del Toro did this movie?
It'd be much different, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because I think it would have been less bound by homages and him more.
Yeah. It'd be much less like conventional goth the way we know it. And it'd be more of like, I think he'd put more of a fantastical spin, go heavier on the sexualized parts.
Kind probably. Of like the the water
Shape of Water. Yeah.
Yeah, Shape of Water.
Yes, I think it'd be interesting to see.
And while we're kind of talking about this, the Image Comics, the Universal Monsters line they have coming.
I'm trying to. Okay, have you read them?
So the Creature from the Black Lagoon, I didn't love.
Okay,
it was okay. The art was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Story, it veered off. The Dracula by Tynion and Martin Simmons. Fucking great.
Sweet. Okay, I gotta order that.
Definitely worth it's a good trade read. It's quick.
Yes. And Frankenstein?
Frankenstein it's different. And I kind of like it because they're taking a whole different angle.
Yes, that's what I want to hear. So like I was actually talking to Rod about this, and the reason I'm enjoying this whole show that we've got going on over there is that I got out of comics for a long time. So not to say I haven't been reading here and there, but it's like not nearly to the extent that I was. So I just that's part of my like 2025 goal setting thing is like I want to dive back in. So he was recommending Frankenstein to me, and I was like, oh hell yeah, because I had just put in a pre-order for the hardcover. Or not the hardcover. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And then I wasn't sure about Dracula, so I'm glad you told me about that.
Oh no, Dracula is the A1 of the whole line. Yes. Martin Simmons from Department of Truth's art is so good.
Yes. So
it just I'm excited. Fits.
Yes, I'm super excited to get into all that once I get everything in.
So there was another. This is a horror show, so we're talking about horror stuff. So before anybody bitches,
nobody's gonna bitch.
There's a Dark Horse comic called All Eight Eyes that is about giant spiders that are attacking New York citizens, and only certain people have seen them.
Oh,
It's so under the radar, but if you loved like arachnophobia or eight-legged freaks,
yeah, it's in that vein.
yes, I really
Hell
liked
yeah.
it. It's actually for comics been a great horror year.
That's such good news. I feel like I'm re-entering at the perfect time too. Because like I also want to get caught up with Department of Truth because I was starting to read that right before I stopped.
Got a little iffy.
Oh. And then what was the other one? Oh, I need to continue with Something's Killing the Children.
That got very good.
Yes. Okay.
They really got deeper into the story, especially with some of the side stuff. So one of the books that I loved, it wasn't necessarily horror, but there was no words to the entire book. It was called Step by Bloody Step.
Okay.
I love
I'm like writing everything down. Step by Bloody Step.
I love that book. There's another James Tynion book called not Infidel. Scheist. Wasn't called Scheist.
I picked up today. I went to the comic shop and just saw what they had, and I picked up some creep shows.
It's so good.
Yes. So I got the hardcover for.
They have the EC Comics stuff coming back out too. That has been really good.
Oh, is it like reprints or?
No, all new stuff.
Oh, holy crap! I didn't know that.
Epitaph of Horror or something like that.
Okay, I'll look into it.
The Deviant.
I heard about that. Well, I saw it on the catalog, and I was like, "Oh, should I?"
Yeah.
I was this close to ordering it, but I didn't.
And then there's a serial killer animal book called Beneath the Trees That Nobody Sees.
I heard about that one too. I didn't order it though. Should I?
It's actually very good.
Beneath the Trees. Okay. Actually, I have one of the issues because one of my buddies sent it to me. But I haven't continued with it. And then was that?
Tessa and I did a Friday the 13th episode talking our favorite horror comics.
Oh wait, I did watch some of that. Yeah.
Okay, so there is a book that you wouldn't think would be horror related called That Texas Blood. Volume 2 and 3. Volume 2 is
sounds kind of horror related.
Volume 2 is Manson shit. Like,
oh shit. Okay.
Where the girl goes missing and she joined a cult. It's very Manson stuff. And then
wow.
Volume 3 is about a serial killer called the Red Queen Killer that's loose during a blizzard in the town and wears a Cheshire cat mask.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go back to my comics because damn, it's been too long. And it was just a lot of shit going on in my personal life that like I had to put a pause on all that. But
I get it.
I'm back.
To be honest, like comic related content, it's been rough for me ever since Jen passed.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah. And I can't blame you.
I've been kind of focusing. So every now and again, there's a book that makes me have to do a video, like New Gods #1 by Rom V was so fucking good. Like I finished, I was like, I have to make a video because the artist Evan Cagle did splash pages that look like Barry Windsor Smith from Machine Man. And I was like, I have to like.
I think I'm appointing you and Rod to recommendations for me from here on out.
So I will give you all the horror recommendations because as soon as stuff pops up, but
go-tos for that.
But Creepshow has been solid. It's been so fucking solid.
I'm so happy.
There is another one. It's had great covers by Tula Lotte and Jenny Friesen.
Jesus, don't tell me that.
Shit. Sorry, everybody.
No, don't apologize. But what else did I get? Oh, I ordered some. Okay, this is kind of a guilty pleasure, but I ordered some Hatchet. Just cause. How about okay, so you're a good person to ask. Return of the Living Dead? What?
The art is fucking horrible.
No, don't tell me that.
I listen, it hurt me because I picked it up. They also did one
I ordered it. Damn it.
They also did one for My Bloody Valentine.
Really?
Yeah,
Was it
like
as shitty?
I haven't looked at it yet.
Oh,
But I did get super
no.
excited because one of my favorite Image comics is becoming a TV series. I don't know
Which
if you ever
one?
read the Tim Seeley revival with the town where nobody can die.
I read like a long time ago. I read a few of the first couple issues with I remember getting the Frizzen covers back in the day.
Yeah. Hello Darkness. It's from Boom Studios. It is a horror anthology series. Some of them had
Okay.
Becky Cloonan in it, and then some of the stuff from Distillery have been good. Somna was very much a erotic horror tale,
Oh.
and then Becky Cloonan had a story I really liked that she did for Distillery.
All right. Oh man, I got lots
But
to read.
Tula Lotay and Becky Cloonan, they put out stuff I will always buy.
Yeah.
Another book I really liked, and I got to interview the writer and artist, was Bear Pirate Viking Queen.
I remember when that was coming out, but I never picked
Yeah,
it up.
I interviewed them. I actually own a page from the book.
Oh, is that?
It's
Nice.
behind me, yeah.
That's
And then I
awesome.
got a commission from the artist. It was ink washed art of Swamp Thing that's now on my wall. It was
That's
beautiful.
amazing.
It's all
That's
painted.
amazing. Very cool. And then you last time, which is another one I have to really try to grab. Philadelphia.
Yes.
You
So
recommended that to me.
they're putting out hardcovers now
Okay.
that have like
Should
2 to
I?
3 volumes.
So
It's a
you
better
recommend me
value.
getting that? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a better. They're better trade reads.
That's why. Okay, I wanted to kind of get into Geiger, but because Rod recommended it, but then they put out a few issues, so I don't know if I should get the trades or just like hold
So
off. You know what I mean?
Geiger has actually been like one that issue by issue on the monthly has been easy to follow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, but if you want to figure out if you want to get into Philadelphia, I interviewed the writer 4 times for every
Yeah,
volume.
I remember you were telling me. That's awesome.
But he actually, I when Jen passed away, he reached out to me and made sure I was okay. Like it was just a weird
Oh,
thing
that's
because
so
we talked to him
sweet.
so many times.
The Philadelphia
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, Rodney Barnes,
That's
and
very sweet.
I'm pretty sure he contributed to her fund a couple of times. So that one hardcovers, they have 2 volumes out now that are pretty solid. For I think there's 2
Cool.
volumes in each one. He also brought back Blackula and did a whole OGN with Jason Sean Alexander, bringing back Blackula and making him a tragic character and taking him out of the whole blaxploitation.
Wow.
And it was actually really good. But Jason Sean
Nice.
Alexander is one of those artists that's so underappreciated.
Yeah, I've taken my notes. So I got my homework and yes, but
Yeah.
let's put the horror comics
Yes.
aside and let's continue with our Nosferatu chatting. So, yeah, I was honestly also pleasantly surprised by what's her name? The
Lily Rose
Lily.
Depp.
Yeah, Lily. Mm-hmm. She was. I hadn't seen her in anything
She
before
was in
this.
Kevin Smith movies.
Interesting.
She
Okay.
went to high school with his daughter. They were at the same
Oh, I see. I
school.
see. I see. I
So she
see.
was in Yoga Hosers and Tusk.
Oh, which I still haven't seen that. So,
So one of the things I don't think we ever give enough credit to the sound engineers and the people who do the scores.
uh,
The score and sound engineering were relentless. Like it built up tension in moments and it fit, especially And this is one of my favorite scenes when he goes to the gypsy village with like the hallucinations and everything. That might have been my favorite parts of the movie because
I was gonna say, I think that's where Eggers shines in those types of scenes where he something about cult type vibe is that's what he does best,
well,
I
I
think.
thought so that was the thing with the witch with me, that the discomfort of trying to guess what was going on, I thought is where he shined.
Yes.
And the witch in particular, and honestly, like for anybody who hasn't watched Lighthouse, there is so much of that movie where you're second guessing because you don't know who's crazy.
Yeah. You don't know
You
what's
really
reality.
don't.
Yeah.
Because both of them are getting pretty much like what's the thing where you're cooped up and you're stir crazy?
Cabin fever.
Cabin fever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that movie because I still have nightmares from that.
Yeah, that's a
But Willem Dafoe is so good in that movie, especially when him and Robert Pattinson are getting drunk
oh yeah.
and they're
That's an
complaining about
insane,
each other's farts.
wild, wild movie. I think the part that really had me hooked was when he actually goes into the lighthouse and he
Oh
goes
yeah.
up. That part to me was like tense as hell. I was like, oh my god, what is he about to see right now? I was at the edge of my seat, like
And the
hook,
ending
line, and
is another
sinker.
one that you have to kind of in your head work out like what just happened.
Yeah, it's heady, no pun intended. Yeah,
Do
it's
you,
just
do you like movies like that where you kind of have to draw your own conclusion?
initially I hate them, but the fact that it keeps me thinking and yeah, lives rent free is what makes me later be like, you know what, it was memorable and that counts for something. And like, even though it might not have been maybe my cup of tea or like something I would watch over and over, like there's something to be said about that type. It's art. It's still a vision and it's still very unique. And I think like I still have a lot of respect for those types of movies that kind of, and that's how I feel about Substance too. Like the end, I wasn't a huge fan of how it ended in the third act. And obviously it goes off the rails and stuff. And as much as I love that type of shit, like it reminded me kind of like how Demons is throughout,
Oh
that whole movie.
no.
you know? And I love that shit. Don't get me wrong, but like I just felt like it was such a departure from the first two acts that I was like, this is such a different tone now. And that is what threw me off. But like, that's another one where I'm like, after
It
I
was so
walked
nice
out of the
seeing Demi
theater,
Moore in a role like that
oh
because
God,
she's
yeah,
never been in a
she's
role like
amazing.
that.
Okay, acting wise, they knocked it out the park. But like, it was only till later I started thinking, like, you know what? Like, it's not that I didn't like it, it's just I actually really did like it, but it's it's something that I keep thinking about, like, what a crazy ass ending. And, that again, that counts for something. It's different, and I respect it for that.
So Heretic was a movie that when it ended, it lived in my head for a bit because I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like
Oh, okay.
I just watched this religious back and forth about what is actually religion. And at the
Interesting.
end, they do a truth bomb of what it actually is.
Okay.
And I walked out going, oh fuck.
It's almost like,
And
did I like that? Wait.
but I did, but I it just there was just one little misstep that just really like for
Gotcha.
Carlito ruined it, but for me, I was like, okay, but we got to this. So
Mhm.
I walked out and I love interpretations of how one person interprets something this way. Like I
There's
ruined
something to be said about that too, where it's
I
like
ruined Carlito's life. I had him watch Martyrs
uh-huh.
and then watch John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
Two movies that have endings which will live rent free in your head.
Right, right. Yeah. Oh,
But he had
man,
never seen
actually
John Carpenter's The Thing. He had never watched it. And I was like,
until recently?
just last year.
Oh, I'm so glad you made him watch it. But I actually just introduced that movie to my mom. And
Oh,
my like you, our moms got us into horror. And
yes.
I relate so much to you with that. Cause like, yeah, she introduced me to Michael Myers, you know, Freddy, you name it. And she was hardcore into it. And now that she's older, she's like, I can't watch that stuff because she lives alone. So she only watches it when I'm around. So she came and visited me, and I was like, "Mom, you never showed me the thing. Like, have you seen it?" And she's like, "No." Like she didn't even know it
Oh,
was. And I was like, "Yes, because I feel like I could return the favor now, you know?" And so I popped it in for her and she loved it. Like she was so psyched with like all of the, you know, the transformations and stuff
oh,
and like
and that was the
the
guy's first
gore. Mm,
effects job, first ever. He
I
was
didn't
a
know
he
that. Oh
he
my
was
god.
Rick Baker's understudy for years, and that was his first job. That was all his.
Wow.
And to put that out there is crazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, she loved the practice immediately. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I love these effects." And like, and then the end, as we were saying, like we were discussing it at the end. She's like, she didn't know kind of how to uh take it in. Like if she was having an issue with it, like she just was like at odds with it. I'm
It's
like,
so dark, but it leaves you guessing because are
mm-hmm.
either of
And
them? Is it none of
so
them?
exactly. And I'm like, so mom, who did you think it was? And she's like, I don't know. I can't tell. I'm
Have
like,
you ever
that's the
watched
whole
the
point.
comment? Have you
Don't
ever
worry.
watched the commentary?
I haven't. No, no.
So throughout the movie, that the Dean Cundy, the DP of the movie, who shot
Uh-huh.
most of John Carpenter's stuff, did amazing movies, did Jurassic Park.
Hmm.
In after production, whoever is not the thing will
The
have a
eyes, right?
tiny little
I
shine.
heard about that.
But at the end, they make it purposely so you can't see
You
either of their
can't.
eyes.
Yeah.
And I love it
Yeah.
because the back and forth with, well, doesn't look like either of us are really up to doing anything, so I guess we'll just sit here and wait.
Uh,
And then there's the theory that he put kerosene in the bottle they were passing back and forth and they were both going to die.
mhm, mhm.
And I remember there was this woman I was dating and I had her watch it and she was like beside herself angry at the ending.
Mhm.
And then we watched Inception and she loved the ending. I was like, no, it's the same ending. It's
So
different, but it's the same.
I actually, that's funny that you say that because I actually caught myself with that same contradiction because I don't forgot what movie I was talking about recently, but I was like, I don't like that oh, it was Presents. I don't know if you've seen Presents yet.
I have not.
Okay, so I went to watch Presents, and there were aspects of that movie that I didn't care for or didn't like because they kind of leave you hanging. And I was like, and that was kind of a gripe for me. But then I was thinking about it and I'm like, wait a minute. Inception left me on a huge cliffhanger kind of ending like that. And I freaking loved it. So, but I think the difference is with Presence, they didn't they didn't answer questions throughout the movie. So that keeps you guessing. But with Inception, it's literally at the end where, you know, you don't have to sit through like 2 hours or whatever. You know, it's the end and it's like, all right, it's just the end. But
Yeah.
I guess that's the difference. But I don't
I
know.
got so I was a stop at that point. I was like, well, how could you like that one and not the other one? I don't get it. And like we had a huge fight about it.
Well, I can't believe that we're bringing that up because I literally caught myself with that same contradiction. I'm like, I need to, but yeah, I think that's the difference
One
is
is
that,
more hopeful than the other because in Inception they have the sound of the kids in the background that you think it's gonna be happier.
wait, so
And it
you were saying Inception and which one was the other one?
the thing.
All right. So
So
yeah,
the
you
thing is
can't.
more nihilistic.
So you that comparison is apples to apples. Mine is apples to oranges, so that's why. But yeah, I would be on your side on this argument.
Yeah.
Because that's more of the same thing.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
But
so
anyways, that was super nerdy of us. Anyway,
yeah,
continue.
sorry. I'm kind of a film snob, but listen, early John Carpenter, I don't think he could miss, even though they didn't do well in theaters.
Mhm.
And the fact the thing came out the same week, the same day as Blade Runner and ET would never happen today. Ever.
Dude, what is going on? I feel like there's no longer that creativity on like that's like geared to the masses. Right now it's all like indie stuff that's worth the watch, I feel.
Which is weird because now that's what's going all to the streaming services. Like all the good
Yeah.
horror, Shudder is getting the rights to, or um what was it? The Substance was done by Mubi of all things. I've never heard of
Right.
them before.
Exactly. And that's an interesting thing, but I think they finally have caught on that like that the only reason these horror movies are doing so well is that they realize that they're actually making money, and they
So
don't
that
have
was
to
the big
overspend.
thing I remember about Blumhouse. They made sure they kept all the budgets down. So when they went into theaters, they lost nothing. Like even the Halloween movies that they just came out with, the budgets were so low that it didn't really do it. The Purge, real low. Did you happen to see Werewolves?
I didn't. I wanted to. Was it good?
It looks, I don't know, it looked bad, but like probably worth watching just because it looked weird.
I'm always down for a bad horror. Well, yeah, I was curious. I definitely was. It piqued my interest for
Because
sure.
I saw Frank Grillo was in it. I was like, okay,
Yeah, I like
maybe.
Frank Grillo. Yeah.
I mean, I liked him in The Purge too, especially.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
Um, I didn't see The Wolfman yet. I still think Universal kind of fucked up showing the transformation scene in a trailer that they released on YouTube.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, they released beforehand. The movie came out in the theater, the transformation scene on YouTube as a teaser.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
watched it and I was like, no.
Oh, interesting.
I'll watch it
Well,
eventually.
they shouldn't
Because
have done that. Yeah, they should not have done that.
Lee Winnell, I loved Upgrade. Upgrade was one of the most batshit movies I've ever watched.
I just watched that with my mom like during the holidays
It was
recently.
fun. It was
So
real
good.
fun.
I love
And
the
then
ending.
and then
Love the
Invisible
ending.
Woman, not Invisible, Invisible Man I liked because it was
Oh
just
yeah.
different.
Yeah, I like that one too. Honestly, I really did like the Wolfman, not the Wolfman. I'm not going to say too much, but there's a reason why the transformation feels underwhelming.
But I mean, as far
Yeah.
as werewolf movies have gone, Dog Soldiers was the last one I think I really enjoyed.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
All right, let me see.
It's a British horror movie.
Dog Soldiers.
They just put out a Shout Factory 4K of it not too long ago.
Okay. Oh wow. I just saw an image. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Wolfman's definitely not your typical whatever you're expecting from your typical like werewolf movie. Oh, speaking of werewolves though, did you see the news that
Their new Wolf
Eggers?
Cop.
Yeah.
Oh, Labyrinth?
Well, Labyrinth too, yes.
Oh.
Wait, who's doing werewolf though? Somebody's doing werewolf too. Wasn't it Eggers as well?
I just saw Labyrinth.
Yeah, Eggers is doing a werewolf movie.
Oh.
So let me read it. Actually, can I share it?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not. Will it let you? I don't know. Maybe no.
I can see it. Let me. Oh, there it is. Okay. Do you see
Yes.
it? Okay. Robert Eggers reteamed with focus features for 13th century werewolf thriller.
Werewolf.
Werewolf. That was. I nailed it, right?
Yes. 100%. He's co-written it.
After tackling vampires with Nosferatu, filmmaker Robert Eggers is taking another horror creature genre in his own inimitable style. Eggers has co-written a werewolf horror project that he will direct as his next feature.
Christmas Day. Oh, I thought it was coming out Christmas Day too. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, me too. I was like, oh god, that's crazy. Eggers wrote Werewolf with who co-wrote heady Viking saga The Northman. Okay, cool. So his co-writer of Northman.
So I have a weird question about Labyrinth. Now that David Bowie's dead, who's going to be doing the magic dance?
Right?
With
my god, who knows?
That's basically cucumber shoved down their pants.
I used to love that movie though when I was a kid.
So Arrow just came out with a giant version of that. Like,
oh my god, I saw that.
Yeah.
It was pricey though, isn't it?
Every Arrow release is pricey. I bought
Cheers.
Cheers.
Little Pennywise.
I bought the Demolition Man Arrow release. And then I bought the Pulp Fiction giant release.
The one with the pop-up thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
I bought this recently. You might appreciate this. I actually scored this on Whatnot. You already know what it is.
I know exactly what it is.
No explanation needed. But it's gorgeous.
Is that the one with the Blu-ray in it, or is that the one from Trick or Treat Studios?
This is the DVD.
Oh.
This is old school.
So I remember walking into FYE and seeing that and then getting pissed because it was like $90.
Yeah, so I've only seen it for $50 and I didn't want to pay $50 for a freaking DVD. And I still had to pay. I paid $20 for it. I still think that's reasonable, but at the same time, $20 for a DVD is something that I wouldn't
You're
usually...
paying for the book, really.
Exactly. And honestly, it's really cool. Puts out
just the book.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
But it's like $70.
Oh, so yeah, this was a score. But look, I don't know if you can see, but there looks like there's an ear right there.
Yeah, I see it.
It's creepy as hell.
They keep saying there's going to be a new Evil Dead movie coming out, series.
I heard about that. Mm-hmm.
I really think they fucked up. Not because the end of the Jane Levy one, Ash picks her up.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to see that. The Evil Dead 2013, I thought was better than most gave it credit for.
I really liked it. I didn't know people were not bagging on it.
I think it was because they felt it was a remake, but when I got the extended version, I appreciated it a lot more. And then there was like that one dude who just couldn't die with the long hair.
Yeah, oh my god. Like, that guy was annoying as hell.
we called him Starbucks Jesus.
Yes, that's hilarious. Yeah, that guy was annoying. But the movie's great though.
Oh yeah, I got the 4K with the extended cut that Shout Factory put out. I got the Steelbook because I'm a snob, apparently.
There's one that just dropped, right?
There's a Walmart version too. That's a Steelbook.
I want that one.
But there's two different endings. There's one where she's hitchhiking and Ash picks her up, and then there's another version where it cuts to Ash and he goes, groovy. To have the two, Because they've kind of said there's multiple books in different realities. And I kind of love that.
Mm.
Because we could have all these different protagonists. Like we could have the one from Evil Dead Rise and all of them come into the same movie.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Fetty say that this is technically his movies were technically wait, did he do Rise? Yeah, right?
No, that was a different one did Rise.
Okay, never mind then. But didn't he say that his was connected to the others?
Yes.
Okay.
But they tied together at the very end.
Right.
And that's another movie. I will say the sound engineering, because when the truck lands on her and she has to rip her arm off, you hear it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with my setup, I don't have a good audio setup. So it's hard for me to sometimes hear certain things.
I ended up buying a
I'm just
Vizio
not set up for
soundbar for my 4K player, and it has
Mhm.
the Atmos, like it shoots it in the air and has the surround speakers, so like I hear a lot more now.
Nice.
But when I saw it in the
Yeah.
theater, they had a ripping sound, and when I saw Don't Breathe, I'm still haunted by that turkey baster.
Oh God. Yeah.
That's squished
I still
on.
haven't seen the second one to that.
I will not watch it. I saw part one. I don't need to see the second one. It's kind of like where we talked about the oh my god, shit, I can't remember the name. That Eli Roth movie.
Thanksgiving?
Earlier. No, not
Which one?
Thanksgiving. The one where the outbreak of that virus, the flesh-eating virus, happens, where the girl's shaving her legs and you can hear the as her skin's coming
Which
up.
one's that? I'm blanking hard on that.
We just talked about it earlier and I cannot remember. I hate that I don't remember.
It's okay, my memory's terrible.
I turn 49 next week. It's not getting better.
What day is it exactly?
Friday the 31st.
Nice.
Cabin Fever.
Oh, okay, Cabin Fever. Yeah. Oh man, it's been a while since I saw that one.
It's been a while, and I don't want to ever watch it again because of that scene. Like, it just grosses me out.
Yeah.
She's shaving her legs, and you just hear it.
Dude, I feel old because it's literally been since I was in high school when I watched it.
So, this is aging myself, but I was in my junior year going to the Dollar Theater to see Army of Darkness.
Shouts out to the $1 and $2 theaters. I miss
it because they all had the bar in there that people could get shit-faced while watching the movie.
It was the best. And also they had like a date night, and even though like I didn't have a date, but I had like my BFF and we'd go we'd just get the deals, and then yeah, they offered drinks, and then it was also just like a lot of the B rated movies, you know, that just like
I couldn't find any women that wanted to go watch horror movies with me. It was like, ew. I was like, so I'd be there with my sister and a couple
that's
of her.
the problem I have too. That's why I do like jumping on these types of streams, because it's like, I don't know, people tell me all the time, like in our circles, like, oh yeah, horror's so popular, whatever. Really? Because I can't find friends that like horror.
If I lived in NoCal, I'd be your BFF. We'd be going every week.
I wish, because James likes horror. I should hit him up, and he's in NorCal. But aside from him, in my normal day-to-day, or which is also hard because I work from home, but the people that I do work with, like, I don't know, nobody really likes, they like it, but they don't like it, you know what I mean? There's a difference.
So I had one of my lady friends come over, and she was like, why do you have so many volumes of Halloween? I was like, oh,
you don't get it. You don't get it.
I literally stopped and I was like, all right, this could go one of two ways.
Exactly. Dude, my whole place is like this. This isn't just the corner that I shoot that looks like this. My whole place looks like this.
And I'm like, well, this one's by Bill Sienkiewicz. You won't know who that is, but to have a Michael Myers cover, this one's by
You
Todd
have to
McFarlane.
have
So
the
I
Bill
had to.
Sienkiewicz.
And
You
then it
have
was
to have
like,
the McFarlane.
and then there's people who kind of know, and they're like, why do you have Halloween Resurrection? I was like, because Buster Rhymes made that movie. All right. Is that what you want to hear?
And it's part of the franchise, damn it.
And then I have the Friday the 13th stuff, my little wink shelf of that. And then it's like, well, what are those ones I've never heard of? Well, those are the fan made ones by Womp Stomp that are really good. Never Hike Alone, Never Like Hike Alone in the Snow, Never Hike Alone 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
hate explaining that. And then always there's like, why do you have a box set of Fast and the Furious? Is like, because I like bad movies, all right? Is that what you want to hear?
well, for me, it's also like people legitimately think that because we're so into the genre that it's like, man, are you okay? Like, why do you enjoy such sick things? And it's like, don't ask me this. Don't ask me this. It just is. Okay. I grew up with them. Okay.
I have a Jason Statham shelf, all right? Like, as soon as they said he's going to fight a shark, I was like, well, fuck it, I'm buying this.
Right. That's so funny. Which reminds me, I still need to watch Meg 2.
It's so bad, it's great.
I need to watch it.
I went to the theater to see it. I made Tessa go to the drive-in and see it.
That's the best way to watch it, I would say. Like, drive-in? Come on.
So I remember she flew down for my Christmas party. She was my date last year. And she started looking at my Blu-ray collection. And she's like, this is too much. I was like, no, it could be bigger. I haven't bought enough.
Wait, I'm surprised because isn't she a comic collector too?
So she hates physical media. She streams everything.
No.
So I made her watch Justice League Unlimited while she was at my house, and she had never ever seen it. Like, movies are not in her radar. Like, she's 4 years later on everything.
Oh, that hurts my soul. But wait, that's what I'm saying though. Like, if you're a comic collector, you would kind of understand our mentality.
But for movies, it's not.
But for movies, doesn't.
And it's interesting because I'm like, physical media forever with everything, and then
me too.
Plus, I love having.
It's okay. I forgive her.
I love having variant covers for comics, and I love having them for, like, to have a Bill Sienkiewicz Halloween cover is amazing.
Damn. Yeah, I left my books in the other room. The ones I picked up, I told you today that I picked up a couple of variants for the creep shows. They're fucking amazing. Like, I'm so stoked on those. Yeah, I'm not like a judge. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, why are you buying variants of a same book or whatever?" And I'm like you too, where I will buy like different versions. Like, I showed you the Nosferatu DVD that I got.
Yeah,
I have the VHS. Like, I like buying different formats, and it's different cover art and stuff.
So, like, for Heretic, this was only available through A24 to have this weird slipcase 4K, because the 4K is not available anywhere. You can only get through A24.
Dude, I saw that today. I went to Walmart and I saw the Blu-ray, and I was like, I'll hold out for the 4K. I didn't even know the 4K was out, but you're saying it's through A24.
And I've never been so impressed by a fucking delivery that I've gotten, because I opened the box. They had an envelope with a big black envelope saying A24 that had my invoice in it.
Wow. Bougie.
Yeah, I was just like, well.
But that's kind of their MO, you know?
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
That's cool. Did you hear about that, like, membership thing that they have? Have you looked into that? I looked into it, but not enough. So
it gives you access to all their streaming. So they have every movie they put out on streaming on there.
Okay.
So that's the big thing. It gives you access to it, and early access.
You don't get anything physical?
I think there's posters.
Or probably discounts, I would assume.
That too. So I don't know if Shout Factory has a physical media collector thing now. You get early access to everything.
I signed up to their like rewards membership or whatever it
Okay,
is.
so you're probably signed up. Do you get alerts for like, hey, we have Keith David from They Live still? You can order
Honestly,
this.
I literally just did it like a couple days ago. So I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know yet.
So apparently they had a bunch of Keith David from They Live toys still around. They were like, hey, first crack at these.
By the way, yeah. That's cool. That's funny.
But yeah, I had to get my Tom Atkins. I have the Tom Atkins.
I was
Kit Kat
gonna
shirt.
say that right now. Like that reminds me. I gotta jump on that before they sell out completely. Because they already sold out of the bigger lot, right? The bigger
Yes. So there's the
Yeah.
one with the trench coat, and then there's the one with the is it a Hawaiian
the
shirt?
shotgun.
Shotgun, yes.
Mm-hmm. Was that the older one or was it a different one? Because there was a one that was released already, right? Back in
Yes, there's been two different ones.
Okay,
And they might
so
have
there's two,
repurposed
and then
one.
there's the coconut one.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I fucking love
Yeah,
Tom
I
Atkins.
at least want to get the coconut one.
So I remember at some point there was a rumor that he was going to show up in Halloween. Not Halloween Kills. What was the third one?
Wait,
Halloween
the
Ends.
third one? Halloween Ends, yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to show up in that, and I was like, oh my god, if he shows up with Dr. Chalice in this fucking movie.
You know what they should do? They should continue with Halloween 3 as like an ongoing series or something.
Listen, I got giddy in the Blumhouse movies seeing the masks.
Oh my
like
god.
that got me so excited.
Yes. They should do something. I mean, I feel like and then like have little Tom Atkins appearance here and there, you know?
I would have made him new Dr. Loomis.
That'd be cool too.
If anybody's not watched Tom Atkins movies, they always make him super sexualized. And
it's so hilarious.
He's been old since he was young.
You know what's funny? Okay, I'm gonna be real. So like when I was a kid, I saw the third one, Halloween.
Yes.
Season of the Witch.
Same
Hated
here.
it. Hated it.
Same.
Right? And like
except for the scene where the kid's head split open.
Yeah, and
that was metal as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, the ending was great. But I was so upset, right? Because it's like, what the hell? Where's Michael? Yada yada, same old thing. But then I saw it again when I was an adult. I'm like, oh my god, it's actually a good standalone. I don't mind it.
Had they not called it Halloween,
exactly.
Put out a movie called Season
it's actually a really good once you kind of separate it from that. And I learned to appreciate it, and now I really like it, right? But like, I also felt that way about
his real wife in the other room banging a 20-year-old.
Oh god. But yeah, even back like when I went and saw it again, I remember thinking like, why do they put Tom Atkins in this role? Like, what the heck? And like, what is he supposed to be like? This attractive dude? What? I don't understand.
Well, it was like The Fog, where like
dude, Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, what the hell? But now it's like there's something endearing about it, and like knowing that he's such a cool dude in real life, like we were both saying earlier.
Even he knows the joke of it. Like he just thinks it's funny.
And it is hilarious, and it's I don't know, there's something awesome about it, and the fact that they're doing a NECA figure specifically for him, like, come on, that's something that I have to grab.
I've been talking about Monster Squad a lot.
Monster Squad, okay.
It's fucking great. And the same person who made Night of the Creeps made Monster Squad. And there's references to both movies in each movie.
It's such a great it was such a great era. I feel like
it was Goonies but with Universal monsters.
Yeah. And I don't know. So awesome.
What does this have to do with Nosferatu? Nothing.
Nothing.
Except we're talking about Universal monsters.
We're giddy about it.
Okay, we'll close off with Nosferatu at this point. I liked it. The artistry of it was very good. The sound engineering was great. Again, I was comparing it to where you were comparing it to Werner Herzog. I was comparing it to the Francis Ford Coppola. And I think for me, one is romantic. The other one was apparently boning Lily Debt Rose till the morning was going to somehow kill him. When the cock crows, and the wording, I was just like, all right, like I'm gonna leave this at, and to see, and here was the other thing for me, seeing someone I had seen pictures of as a child, all of a sudden getting her titties bitten, weird for me. Kind of how like when you're watching, say, The Professional with somebody, and they're like, wow, Natalie Portman's hot, is like she's 13. Like, you're fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a weird moment. And, you know, like, oh God, what was her name? Who was in True Detective, but she was also in those, the Percy Jackson movies. I was like, ew.
I actually haven't seen True Detective.
Oh, it's so good. First season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I heard. I gotta watch that.
Alexandra Daddario.
Okay. I've been watching American Horror Story.
After season 1, I could not watch it anymore.
It could be written way better. And after seeing like what Flanagan did and with the Netflix shows, it's hard for me because I watched those first, and it's hard to me to now watch. It's hard for me to see these and go like, oh, this is awesome. But
a movie that came out from Shout Factory with extra stuff that I actually really loved. Hush by Mike Flanagan.
Cool. Mm-hmm,
oh my God. It was an extended cut. I was not expecting it.
Ooh.
It's a good movie because the premise is great, with a killer hunting someone who is deaf.
Yeah, I've seen the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, just for the audience, just kind of explaining it in case they haven't seen it, because that was like a Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started watching Creep Tapes on Shudder.
Okay, that's weird. That's the one I want to watch because I really like both of them. The first
Creep Tapes, every episode is fucking crazy.
Really?
And Creep,
is it
Creep,
like
Creep
is it like crazy like VHS crazy, or what? Give me some context.
Every episode's different. It's different premises going on. Like one time he's running around dressed like Dracula, another one he's dressed as a.
Okay, so it's literally, I get it. So
it's almost like an anthology.
Taking random tapes from his wild past life. Yeah. Okay.
And if you haven't seen Creep, I recommend watching it because.
No, I've seen both. I've seen both. They're great.
Audience wise, like it's a weird. You wouldn't think it's because Mark Duplass, who's a comedian, and it takes a dark fucking turn, like real dark turn. So I'm recommending it and not recommending it at the same time.
I'm recommending it full-heartedly.
But yeah, Hush was one I really liked because it was different. I always like when there's something that makes the person more vulnerable, and to have a deaf protagonist having to deal with a serial killer running around the house who was wearing like a one-tone mask, kind of like Michael Myers.
My only gripe with it is I wish he kept it on the whole time.
Yes.
That's it. I love it though, other than that.
And a movie that's not a serial killer movie that I love, that I wish had been done by John Carpenter, was The Guest.
I haven't seen that one.
The Guest with Dan Stevens is such a fucking good movie. Micah Monroe's in it. And it's the unreliable narrator kind of movie. This guy comes
Mhm.
back. He shows up at this house saying that he was a friend of this family's son who died. Turns out the government
Mm.
experimented on him and he's like a super soldier. He's also
Oh.
a fucking crazy killer.
Oh God.
But he works his way in the family where they're treating him like he's their son. And Micah Monroe's like, there's something wrong with this dude. Like, there's something really wrong. And then the
Damn.
trigger hits.
Sounds up my alley. I'll
And it's Dan
definitely.
Stevens acting like he is a Southern man. So his accent is he's channeling McConaughey, but he's British.
Oh God. Oh my God. Love it.
And
I'm sold.
Dan Stevens is one of the worst movies in Abigail. That is a movie that the trailers led me on to think it was a better movie than it was, and I watched it. I was like, fuck.
Wait, did you like it or no?
I hated it.
You hated Abigail?
I hated it.
Oh wow. I
The
I
acting
liked
was
it.
so bad.
I liked it, but I wasn't in love with it. I thought it was overrated, but
So
I
I
did like
heard so
it.
much good stuff about it. This is another one where it was like, oh, Abigail's great. Abigail's great. And I watched it. I was like,
It was
oof.
all right. It was all right. It was good. I had a good time with it. I will say
So
I fell
like
asleep at the end.
Megan was entertaining.
Megan was fun. It's I would say they're equal to me.
Um, this is a totally off topic movie discussion, but person I was talking to
Whatever.
yesterday
We're
was
talking horror. We're talking horror.
they were looking at Split,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "Is that a horror movie?" I was like, "Technically, yes." And 100%, I think that the actor James McAvoy should have gotten an award because all of that, the different personalities he did on the fly.
Mm.
That was all improv.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
So I was
insane.
like, I mean, yeah, he should have gotten nominated, maybe not won, but I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
huge. I'm not a huge fan of M. Night Shyamalan, but that
yeah.
did it.
No, that gets respect for sure. I did not like Glass after that.
No. I like
Split.
Devil.
Oh yeah, Devil was fun. Devil was fun. But going back to Split, I remember thinking this is
It's
interesting.
different.
Yeah, I know I liked it. I remember liking Split. And then the end was awesome because I did watch it in theaters and I was a huge fan of Unbreakable. So that was like a big mystery. And it was awesome that we knew that at that point we were going to get another movie and it was like so exciting. But Glass was such a disappointment though.
Yes, it was, especially the ending.
Mm-hmm.
The name Celluloid and Scotch. So Carlito, who's not here, he's funny enough. His history with me, he recommended a movie Jen and I hated, Blackcoat's Daughter. We watched it. It was the most boring movie I've ever watched.
Oh,
It's fucking horrible. And it was Osgood Perkins. And I love Longlegs.
oh, really? Yeah, I love Longlegs.
Osgood Perkins is doing another movie. I just saw
Yeah, what was it?
teaser for. I fucking forget what it.
I'll look it
But
up.
so Carlito, and after that, he kept talking about how much he loved Nolan, and
Monkey.
Yes, I saw the trailer for
Good.
Monkey. The monkey
That's
looks
gonna be
fucking
good.
awesome.
Yes, I'm excited. But continue.
Carlito and I kept talking, and we did a Nolan movie, the first one. It might have been what was the one that came out during Tenet? I think that was the first one we did. We talked about that. We both like Scotch and bourbon, and it just kind of made sense. Celluloid film and Scotch.
Yeah.
So we drank and started doing this. And I'd say one of my greatest contributions is getting him to open up to horror a little bit more and getting him to watch stuff that he never would have watched.
We have to still do work on him, by the way, with Fright Night.
Between Jojo and I, we've both been working. Fright Night's fucking awesome.
He won't watch it. He's part of my little night. So there are a couple people, Gorvidal.
Yes.
They have a little Fright Night resistance against me. They don't want to watch the movie.
Is it because of the Prince Pumper? Oh God, what the fuck was his name from Princess Bride?
No, they just want to give me crap about it. But you can be on my team. You're in the
Oh, I
Fright
am.
Night.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Thank you. We are part of the Fright Night Club.
So are we just gonna have to have an episode with just us talking about Fright Night?
Yeah, but we have to make him a convert. We have to, do work.
So I think if you watch it and don't, because there are some people who think it's just the he played the Penguin.
Recently?
Yes.
Oh God, I don't remember.
In the remake, they think it's
talking
him.
about. Yeah. Okay. Las Cruces.
Oh. So Fear Street was fucking crazy.
I loved Fear Street.
I loved it. Like,
they're coming out with more.
Yeah, I saw. Colin Farrell, yes. Which Colin Farrell as the Penguin, fucking great.
Oh yeah, Colin Farrell. Okay.
But Colin Farrell's Fright Night, I thought he was okay. I didn't love.
Oh
the person
yeah,
playing
I
Charlie.
thought that one was pretty cool too. Like, of course, it's not
Different.
the original. Yeah, definitely different.
And
yeah,
listen,
it was only
Christopher Mintz-Plasse will never ever equal
the
Evil Ed.
The only minor gripe I have about that remake is that I lived in Vegas for 8 years. That is not how Vegas looks at all.
Your mother is working late. She said dinner's.
No, at one point they do like a wide, and it's like there's like a neighborhood, and it's literally just the neighborhood in the middle of the desert. I'm like, you guys, that's not how it is.
Evil Ed wearing that wig as Charlie's mother is.
Dude, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
Which you can put that one together with The Gate.
Oh yeah,
Ed's playing
absolutely.
The
Yes. Good call.
I'm so glad you have seen that. We're gonna send bottle rockets down into hell.
Yes, I love that movie. So cheesy good. But yeah. No, we got to have. We gotta have at least
someone who's on my wavelength with horror. This is
absolutely. I wanted to get that steelbook too. The Gate. I gotta pick that up.
I missed it late. Like,
honestly, I think it's still on the Walmart website. Let me check.
Walmart actually has been coming out with very good 4Ks.
They do. My problem is that I got to order online because they never restock shit.
No. So the Substance, Amazon completely failed me on. I had to go to Walmart.com and I got within a day. So anybody trying to get the Substance?
Store, surprisingly.
Oh, luck to you.
Right.
Maximum Overdrive, they have the Green Goblin truck steelbook.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought that because Stephen King, high on coke, directed a movie with Emilio Estevez.
All right, let me see The Gate steelbook. I'm pretty sure it's still up, and it's pretty cheap because it's not 4K.
And another one I loved, Night of the Comet.
$20. $20. Look, share my screen. Hold on. Okay.
This is the worst kind of show with physical media collectors.
There it is. Hold on. There you go. Vestron.
This is a great movie. Like, it
highly recommend from both
truly
of us.
Is. It's with heavy metal also mixed in with.
It's so fun. It's a coming of age type of movie, and it's just it's unique, and it's got a lot of cool practical effects and gateway horror, I would say too.
Yes.
$20 at Walmart right now.
Also, we talked about Monster Squad earlier. There is a 4K from Kino Lorber that came out that has the Wolfman's Got Nards documentary.
Ooh, that's cool.
With all of them. Unfortunately, the kid who screamed Wolfman's Got Nards died. Horace, in real life, he was a lawyer.
That's sad.
But it's one of my favorite. Like, it has every Universal monster in it, and I love it. And it also has Uncle Rico playing the werewolf in it from Napoleon Dynamite.
Uncle Rico. Ugh.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great callback. But anyways, did we finish talking about Nosferatu? I think I got to give my final thoughts too.
So, if I were going to do a grade out of 5, I'd say it's somewhere between 3.5 out of 4 because, as you kind of listed, it's homaging a lot of stuff. He made it his own, but he didn't. And
yeah,
you kept thinking about Werner Herzog. I kept thinking about Francis Ford Coppola, and somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I very similarly, I would give it the same star rating because it's still a solid film overall and just well crafted. And you know, if you've watched Edgar's stuff and you're expecting that kind of you know, his certain style, you're going to get that from this for sure. And he accomplishes the whole, like we were talking about, that gypsy moment, the gypsy part, like that stuff is done super well. Yeah. And like, you're not going to be disappointed with the movie. But yeah, if you've seen, I almost feel like sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I kind of didn't know about the prior versions. That way I could come into this clean and I probably would have thought this was.
Are we hating on being film nerds?
Right, exactly. It's almost like to a fault that we know this other stuff. But yeah, like if you're, I don't know, for maybe a newer generation that hasn't seen the old stuff, like this is a great way to hop on the Nosferatu, like the whole thing. So you can watch this one if you really like it. That's awesome. And then you could go back and watch the other ones. But for us, we have seen the old ones and we love them too.
And I will tell you, watching Shadow of the Vampire, to me,
yes,
that is the ultimate cut of it because it's its own thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a separate thing, but
it's a mockumentary.
Yes,
it's a mockumentary.
So good.
It's like Spinal Tap, but making Nosferatu.
Solid, fun watch. Dan recommended it to me. I didn't even know about it, and it's got a solid cast. So definitely go out and watch that if you're into Nosferatu too.
And honestly, Willem Dafoe, he's becoming one of like the great. He's not a character actor, but he's somewhere in between because he will draw you to a movie.
I mean, Prophecy. You could say he's a character actor. I think at this point.
Yeah,
because think of him in Sleepy Hollow too.
He will eat the fuck out of scenery, but at the same time, like he's compelling to watch because you don't kind of know what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
He brings something to everything he does. So to go from being Count Orlok, Max Schreck, to now being the Van Helsing character, he brought something. Like, as soon as he got on the screen in Nosferatu, I was completely engrossed because he's compelling.
Hold on, I just thought Sleepy Hollow was not him. That was
no,
Christopher
that was
Walken.
Christopher Walken, and the Prophecy was Christopher Walken.
Spider-Man though, Spider-Man, Green Goblin.
Oh yes,
yeah. So that's pretty good.
I'm a bit of a scientist myself, Peter.
Yeah, I love those movies. ...
They didn't age well for me.
I have a soft spot in my heart for them.
So for what we were given up until that point, like there's 100%. I was like, that was the first time I saw shit that I wanted to see on the screen. Like,
Yeah.
Blade
It
was
was
probably the lead up.
yeah, they're for the time amazing. But yeah, I get what you're saying. And Sam Raimi's just solid.
Oh,
But
I
anyway,
mean,
continue. Sorry, I interrupted.
even his Doctor Strange, Sam Raimi. I love Sam Raimi, and the fact that he always puts the same car in every fucking movie, because apparently, according to Bruce Campbell, he lost his virginity in this car, and it was his mom's car. It's in every fucking movie. It's a Delta 77.
What? I didn't know
Yep.
this.
Even in The Quick and the Dead, they turned it into one of the stagecoaches. The movie in the car in every Evil Dead movie, even in Ash vs. the Evil Dead, they flew that car to New Zealand to do that movie, the show.
The more you know. The
Yeah.
more you know.
That's, according to Bruce Campbell, that's where Sam Raimi lost his virginity in, and they've kept that car. It was his mom's car.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome, everybody. Dumb things I've watched from watching way too many commentaries.
Oh my god. Gonna have to go back
And Bruce Campbell might have been making this all up that makes it worse, but it was in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
That's funny.
The car showed up in it.
Oh my goodness.
So at some point, I'm sure Jojo and I are gonna be having the horror show of randomness. Because that's what
gotta love it.
So I love spreading the love of horror, because I think horror is one of the most overlooked things. And I know there's a couple of directors who have said the only thing harder than directing comedy is horror, because you have to have the beats right. And I think all of us have a movie as a kid we watched that's left something in us. Poltergeist, that clown from Tobe Hooper, has stayed with me. The kid scratching on the window in the TV series of Salem's Lot has stayed with me. Tobe Hooper again.
Oh yeah, like I think back to Poltergeist, and there's so many scenes that stick out to me too, like the tree, and then obviously the pool scene as well. And yeah, for the time, just like crazy.
And I think as children, I think that's kind of maybe with our poor parenthood and my family, of like, they loved horror, so like, hey, you're a kid, come on, watch this. If there's nudity, I'm gonna cover your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. That's all. Could still hear everything.
But like, I look back so fondly. Last Monday would have been the anniversary of my mom's passing, so like, I have a giant Hellraiser tattoo of the puzzle box on my shoulder all the way down, with the hooks going down my arm.
Oh,
my mom loved Pinhead.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was something we shared. She loved Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She hated Franklin from the original, like, hated him with a passion because he whined so much.
Mm-hmm.
She loved Superman and Wonder Woman. Last year, I got to interview Philip Kennedy Johnson, who was writing Action Comics. And I had this memory of, like, my mom would have been so proud that I interviewed someone who did Superman. So, like, all of my formative years, she led up to. So, like, I feel like every episode I do, I'm kind of celebrating her in a way.
That's awesome. No, yeah.
But she's also the jackass who went out to my window, scratching at it, saying, "Danny, let me in." After watching Salem's Lot.
That's so funny.
Completely traumatizing me.
Oh, good times.
We watched Halloween together every year, even Halloween 3. I never heard her say Tom Atkins was hot, so that also figures into my childhood.
I love that we're on the same page with that too.
He's somehow, John Carpenter's like, I'm gonna make him a sex figure, and it just never caught on.
They tried so hard.
Because there's a guy who lives in Orlando here, Dr. Wolfula. He
Mhm.
wears a little like werewolf outfit.
Oh, I've
and
seen him
does...
on YouTube here and there.
So
Yeah.
he was doing the Halloween 3. He goes, if you think we don't see Tom Atkins' ass, fuck you. We see it all. Fucking a 20-year-old sucking her titties. And his real life wife was in the next room getting bugs shooting out of her head. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
The 80s were a crazy time for horror. Like,
The best.
It's such a weird thing, but it's weird because I look back so fondly on all that, but yet the stuff that comes out now, I'm like, it's more in my intelligence wheelhouse.
Right. There's definitely a difference between that horror and what's coming out now. And it's interesting that we're into both, you know? It's like we really love that. I think it's
It has to be well done because I honestly, like, Talk to Me was probably like one of the ones that captured my imagination the most because it was so different.
I was going to tell you, we're talking about the director of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And okay, so I saw when I was looking it up, he directed something else that was surprising, but let me look it up again because I totally forgot. Hold on, I was gonna bring it up. I'll look it up real quick again. I was so shocked, but let me see here. Directors. Danny Philippou. So it seems to be that they're brothers.
Oh.
The other one they directed was the Babadook.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh wow. There's a listing for Talk to Me too?
Ooh. Did you see the mini trailer for Toxic Avenger? The new one with Peter Dinklage?
No.
Lloyd Kaufman put out a mini trailer for it the other day. It's coming.
Interesting. That should be fun.
I also love trauma movies because they are what they are. Yeah, like Nukem High, Tromeo and Juliet was one of the worst I've ever watched.
Yeah, they're their own genre film. But yeah, no, I didn't hear about that. That's cool.
So where do you sit with Nosferatu in your like vampire pantheon of like movies?
So I think that right now, as it stands, nothing's really gonna beat this one for me. But then it gets tough because now I'm thinking about what you were talking about with Bram Stoker's and the Coppola one. So it's like I need to think about that. And
so I have Salem's Lot, the TV series, very high because fucking Barlow is that blue fucking vampire spooks the shit out of me to this day.
Yeah, that's also a good one. I haven't seen it
The
in
2024 one was shit.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
No, I do like the older one though.
But Fright Night I love quite a lot. I also love the fact that Prince Humperdinck.
I love Fright Night.
Yeah, it's very good. There's a couple other vampire movies that were...
Interview with the Vampire is one of my faves too.
It's an interesting one. I'm conflicted on that one because there are parts of me that really like it, and there's parts that... When Tom Cruise plays a villain, I really like him. Because that one with Jamie Foxx where he's the assassin, I love.
Collateral? I still haven't
Collateral.
Don't tell Carlito because he really wants me to watch it. I haven't seen it yet. He sent it to me, and I still gotta watch it.
It's the weird thing because when Tom Cruise plays out of character, those are my favorite parts.
Same. Yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie because I don't know. It's also a nostalgia thing because I saw it when I was a kid as well, and I just loved it since then. But
I think it's the thing with the Crow, the original Crow, because it was such a cultural thing when it came out. It's like everybody's wearing trench coats after that, and everybody all of a sudden was like into goth. And it's kind of the same way I feel about Batman 89. All of a sudden, everybody was a Batman fan because it was a cultural event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. There are
I've
a
never
lot
had a
of
horror movie that was a cultural event yet. Like Scream might have been the closest because there was nothing coming out.
I don't know. Terrifier is kind of getting up there.
And it's funny because I love the pushback from the old school horror community. They were like, I don't like it's too shock. Everything about Art the Clown they push back against, and it makes me embrace it more.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me how ultra
And
violent it is.
I love in part 3 they answered back to it's only violence against women to then taking a chainsaw up a guy's butt cheeks.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's those movies are really fun to me, but a lot of it's crazy. I was talking about this on a different podcast, but a lot of kids are surprisingly into it, which I don't know how I feel about it, but that just goes to show how culturally relevant it is right now. That
It
even
is, and
kids.
I think because like even like I have a Fright Rags, I got the zip up hoodie from Fright Rags.
Nice.
I got the socks.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
But weird thing is I didn't love Terrifier 1, but Terrifier 2 actually made a lot more sense to me.
I love the second one the best, I
And
think.
Sienna, I think, was such a good character in the second one that in the third one they kind of fucked up the writing.
I can agree with you to a degree. I think I didn't give a review for this, so it's cool that we're talking about it. Even though it's Nosferatu, but whatever. We're all horror here, so it's all good. But yeah, no, the third one I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously we both ordered the big old set from
Yeah.
Umbrella.
I
We
think they
like it.
put it I think they rushed it out too quick.
I
There were
think
story beats
that
that could have been cleaned up.
yeah, and the big thing I had an issue with was like I just didn't like in the second one they really established the sister and brother
Yeah.
relationship,
And
and in
they
the
killed
third
him
one
without a
completely
fucking
like
worry.
destroys that. And it's like for no good reason. It doesn't make sense that he wouldn't be so supportive with her when he was
No.
doing everything possible in the second one,
I felt the
and it's
story
like
was rushed.
yeah, it just some of it just could like you said could have been written better um and made a little more sense with following the second one. But yeah, no.
There were some good scenes like where they had the
Really
like
good scenes.
weird heavenish angel thing that was there with the demon making the sword, and then the little bit with her dad I thought was kind of cool, but
It was a little too
yeah,
depressing at the
messy.
first, messy and depressing, and it was like I wanna be rooting for these people, but and it's also like I hope the brother doesn't die. I don't think he's dead. I don't think so.
So I don't think they could find a happy medium between focusing on her and focusing on art because it felt like they went the other way where it was a lot of art and his
Mhm.
comedy.
Mhm. Yeah. No, yeah, we definitely saw him really kind of get into his little goofiness there,
Yeah,
especially
very
at the
much so.
mall. Yeah, especially at the mall.
Well, and then when
Um,
the girl's in the shower talking about it, he's like, "Ah,
yes.
yeah." But I love the physical comedy of it, but at the same time, like, is it Sienna's story or is it his? We can't. And
Hmm.
then we have the little clown girl that all of a sudden disappeared. I didn't need to see the girl from the first one masturbating with a piece of glass.
Yeah. So
That was
there's certain things, um, yeah, that were you could tell, and the Damien has said like, oh yeah, we were kind of they're like pushing it to see how far they can go with the
And then
audience.
David Howard Thornton's playing Joker in a little mini project movie,
I heard about that.
which he's probably going to do a good job at because he's basically been playing Joker for 3 movies now.
Mm-hmm. I got to meet the cast actually last year too. They were all really freaking nice, especially Elliot, the kid, the
Oh,
brother. He's so sweet. He's like the sweetest kid ever. I'm like, damn.
so I had posted about the movie, and the actress Lauren Lavera messaged me saying
She's
thank
really
you for
nice.
promoting it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh boy,
She's
because
so
I always have like that traumatic thing. I was like, oh no, I'm on their radar.
no, they're all very sweet. They're very
Yeah,
humble.
and then
Um,
like finding out she's a black belt, which is crazy.
I know. I saw that too. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Because I'm into MMA, so it's like that's really
Yeah,
cool. That's really cool.
must be weird for you. Like no San Francisco Giants to do videography for, or not San Francisco 49ers or anybody else to do anything for in your area, because
What do you mean?
don't you do the Niners videography stuff, or is it just the San Francisco Giants?
Right now I'm doing the Giants video
Oh,
editing.
okay.
Giants
Because I was
video
like,
editing, but I do NFL stuff on the side, like during the
oh,
season.
okay,
But that's more like just media management. It's like files and like working with the
okay.
footage. It's not really editing or anything creative. So
Because I was like, with them out
yeah.
of it, like it must have been a slow off season.
Oh yeah. Um, but that's the thing though. Like even during our off season, it gets crazy because like in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be off to spring training for the Giants.
Oh,
So and I'm gonna be in Arizona for 2 weeks. So it's like I'm not even gonna be here for a while. But
yeah. I mean, it's all
yeah.
about the Dodgers right now, anyway. So
All right.
yeah, I'm a Mets
It's always
fan, so
tough for
it's
me.
been
I was arguing with Rod yesterday because I was telling him like people get pissed at me because like I tell them that I like the Raiders and the Niners. And they're like, he's like, what? You can't like both. I'm like, I work for NFL. Like I used to live in Vegas.
no,
So I worked at Raiders games and I work at Niners games here now that I moved out here. So it's hard for me. So I go for the Niners and I go for the Raiders. They're my secondary team. And then,
yeah.
but I don't know. Sometimes it's vice versa.
I'm a Buccaneers fan, so like that's
Nice.
closest to me.
Yeah.
I hate the
I'm not,
Jaguars.
but that being said, I'm even though I like work in the industry, I'm not like a huge fan like I am with like my geeky stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a casual. I'm such a casual with
No,
sports.
my geeky stuff. Like the closest thing to me is the Orlando Magic for NBA, and that's like
Nice.
still an hour away.
Yeah. But that's cool. I mean,
Like
I like following here and there
I get to
my
walk out
Cali
my door and
teams.
see space shuttles and rockets go off constantly because I live right by Cape Canaveral.
Oh, nice.
So
That's
Elon's
fun.
been very nice about launching fucking shit at 1 a.m.
Oh, at that
Yeah,
hour?
it's
Jeez.
fucking infuriating
That
because
sucks.
my house rattles, and I have
Jesus.
an elderly cat that gets fucked up every time shit goes off.
Oh, I have an elderly dog. How
Yeah,
old
my
is your
cat's
cat?
15.
Oh, mine's 13.
Yeah, so like every time that shit launches, it's just like,
Here we go. Yeah.
and he can't meow.
Oh.
He just says meh, which for some reason Tessa thought was the cutest thing in the world because she's like, oh, he's just like you. He just
Oh.
says meh. I was like, thanks. They
That's
somehow
funny.
bonded.
Oh, how cute.
But like when she was here, she like walked out. I was like, hey, walk outside. She's like, what the fuck's that? I was like, it's a rocket.
No big deal. It's just a rocket.
Yeah, no, it's like it's the weirdest shit because it's just like loud and it's like go outside and it's like whistle that smoke. I was like, that's a rocket.
That's wild. Like my place rattles too occasionally, but that's because I have BART, which is like the subway slash train out
Oh,
here. Yeah, and then a regular like industrial like train, whatever.
yeah, I've never been out to your end of California. I've been to San Diego for Comic Con. That's like it.
Yeah. It's a lot different than San Diego. I'll say that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've been there for Comic-Con. I've never been to NoCal.
Yeah. You don't
Um,
have to.
uh,
It's nothing bigger happens over
just
here, I don't
all the
think.
water goes to SoCal. That's all I know.
Hopefully.
How's Gambit? Gambit is
Is that your
surviving.
cat's name?
No, it's my co-host my comic show back in the day. He's a tattoo artist, and he drew
Oh.
a picture of Jen for all of her close friends
Oh,
after
okay,
she
cool.
passed. He's doing well. I think he might be going to MegaCon. He's tattooing. He's getting by. I haven't really talked to him much in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, this last 2 months have been not great for everybody. It's I don't know. It's weird how everybody processes grief in their own
Differently.
way. Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
some people want to go out and have get-togethers. Other people just kind of like myself just don't want to be near anyone.
Understandable.
It was also sweet of you to reach out to me during all that.
Oh, I mean, I know how much she meant to you. I mean, yeah, you would always mention her and stuff, and I wasn't particularly like close to. I didn't really know her
No,
that
I mean
well,
you mentioned that. It was
but
just like one of those weird things
yeah.
because like her and I started doing shows during COVID before she started her own channel with Mars, and it was just I knew it was coming. I just didn't know. I was in
No, you're
denial
never
of
really
when.
prepared for something like that. No matter if you know what's going on, like it sucks, and you guys were close, so I get it.
I'm gonna warn you, bro. The back tattoos. I thought that was gonna be my easiest tattoo. It was not. The lower
Mm,
it got, the more it hurt. I have
I
a green.
bet.
I have a green goblin tattoo near the tramp stamp area that is
Nice.
more painful than anything else.
So
It,
where's the least painful? Ass? Ass cheek?
that for
Okay.
me.
See,
I have a lot of Dune tattoos. Everything I have is literary or comic or horror related.
so I've been
My
tempted.
left leg.
I'm a virgin when it comes to tats.
Ooh.
So I for the past like 2-3 years I've been contemplating because I do want to get some horror tats, but I don't know. I don't feel like super compelled. It's more of
No.
like if I got one, this is what I would do. But
So
nothing in me is like I need it, you know?
weirdly, it was after my mom passed. I was like, all right, no one's gonna judge me
That's
anymore.
not weirdly. That's a good
So
reason. So, yeah.
Snake Eyes,
Oh, nice.
Curse of Thorn, Dune, Dune. Um,
Dang, you're a
Cover
hardcore
Up.
Dune fan then.
I have the Court of Owls on one arm. I have a bunch of Rick Remender stuff. My one leg is all John Carpenter themed. I have Lopan on one side. I have Michael Myers on the other.
Holy
I'm
crap.
probably the only person that has a Lopan tattoo. Um,
Oh, wow.
Batman,
Batman, nice.
um, Deadly Class. I have Black Monday Murders up here. I have a Nerve tattoo from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Holy crap.
I have a giant puzzle box with the hooks coming out. I have the recreation of the Pulse number 3 or 4 cover with Green Goblin on it with the wanted poster that's on my back. I have Blade of the Immortal, a recreation of one of the covers on my back. I have the keys from Joe
Wait, so how
Hill's
do you have?
about 32. I have the keys from
Wow.
oh god, why am I blanking out? Lock and Key. I have 3 of the keys on my back that I personally picked. My former co-host Gambit did most of my art on there.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I have one of the female gunslingers from the Dark Tower series, who's in the
Mm.
throwaway comic on my leg. I've got Kitty Pryde. I've got Magic.
Jeez, that's so many.
Only one. I have the recreation of one of the covers from the comic Nailbiter. I have
Uh,
Grendel.
holy crap. That's awesome.
Um, the only character I have that I love that I don't have tattooed on me is probably Zatanna.
Well, when did you get your first one?
When I was about 20 and I almost passed out during it because I didn't eat or anything before I went. It
Oh
was a tribal
goodness.
band that now not doesn't exist. It is this dots covering it up.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I have from Something is Killing the Children, the Order of St. George on my hand.
Nice. Wow. Wow.
No, I do not have a marijuana tattoo. Guadalajara top.
Guadalupe. That's hilarious. That's
Um,
that's cool.
and I don't even have like I'm surprised I don't have an Evil Dead tattoo because Evil Dead like it's probably my top 5 series. But John Carpenter, like I thought about trying to get something from The Thing, and everything's too complicated.
So wait, you have so many, and I can't even see any on you besides like the arm ones. So you where do you have most of them on your legs?
I have a good chunk of my legs, a good chunk are on my backs up to my shoulders.
Okay, got it. Crazy.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
but my friend Gambit's done about 3/4 of the work, and then most of my horror tattoos were done by his studio mate because he loved horror. But
Dude,
my low pan one's my most proud because that's the one everybody goes, "The fuck is that?" And I was like, "Is low pan from Big Trouble in Little China?"
you
You,
would.
you don't
You
know who
would have
James
that.
Hong is? What the fuck? I have a signed picture from him.
I'm dead. That's funny.
It's my
That's
favorite movie. That is like it's my guilty pleasure. Like I'm not feeling good movie. Like if I'm
Mhm.
sick, I will always watch that movie. I will always watch David Duchovny's Evolution because
Okay.
that movie just makes me laugh.
I remember that movie. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Evil Army of Darkness, another one I will watch. Ash versus the Evil Dead, I will watch because it just makes me laugh because of how fucking stupid it is.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid that you know how I was telling you like with Halloween 3, I was like, what the fuck is this? I felt that way because the first movie I saw from the whole like Evil Dead franchise was Army of Darkness. That was the first one. And I was like, what the hell? I remember I just didn't get it. I was like, why is this so dumb? And at the time, when I was that age, I was like loving horror, like horror. And I was like, why are they mixing in? I didn't understand mixed genre. I was like, why is this funny? Like, I don't get it. And it wasn't until I went to the theaters as an adult to watch Drag Me to Hell that I started
Under
under
very underappreciated movie.
I love that movie. That was the first time I started understanding like and that
The
was like
Delta
my early
77's in that movie too. That's what
I
she's
love
like
it.
in that car, like when she's drowning.
Yeah. Um, I was in my early 20s and I was like, this is amazing. And I went back and I'm like, I remember watching Army of Darkness. I gotta rewatch that now. Loved it. I'm like, I get it now. I understand now. So yeah, it took me a bit there, but I started loving mixed genre after that.
God, Army of Darkness in particular was just the one where it's like it didn't know what it wanted to be.
It's so funny though. Like it's ridiculous.
Good. Oh, what was it? Um, Ash Housewares. Hey, she bitch. Come
Just
get
so
some.
good. So good. Oh, yeah. And I remember So the reason I had watched Army of Darkness the first time was it was gifted to me, and because
Ooh.
they were like, "Oh, you like horror, you'll like this," and I was like, "What is this? This is crazy." But yeah, like, and then I didn't know that there were other movies too until later. I was like, "Oh my god, this is like Evil Dead." What? It was
So
awesome.
I remember watching Evil Dead 1 with my mom, and then Evil Dead 2 came out. I don't remember watching that. And then I saw Army of Darkness, and I went back and watched Evil Dead 2.
Mhm.
And then I watched Evil Dead 2 tripping on acid with friends, and that was
Oh
the
god,
most worst idea I've ever had.
I'm too scared to do that shit.
Because the part where the deer starts like laughing and everything, I was like,
Hell no.
yeah, nope, bad
No,
idea.
it's already an acid trip without drugs. Are you
I
kidding
know.
me?
Like I said, a lot of bad ideas as a kid or kiddish. And then there was the weirdest fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Matthew McConaughey. And then Viggo Mortensen was in another one. It was the weirdest shit I've ever watched.
Was it The Next Generation or whatever it's called?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matthew McConaughey had a mechanical leg, if I recall. And then it had like
Yeah,
an
it was
it had
wild.
an Excalibur trailer for it where it was like the saw his family and it shot out of the water. Oh boy, there was
Yeah.
a lot of bad movies during that time.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those sequels, that's why horror sequels get a bad rep.
I mean, some of them really deserve it though.
It's true, but I don't know. Now you get sequels like Smile 2, which wasn't half bad.
Did you watch the Interview with the Vampire series on AMC?
No. Is
So,
it complete? Is it over now?
I believe it is. Like, it's still like you can watch on AMC Plus. But the writer of Philadelphia was doing the treatment for the Philadelphia TV series. He threw out the whole script after watching it
Oh,
because of
shoot.
how good Interview with the Vampire, the TV series, was.
Wow.
Like, he literally scrapped the entire thing. He's like, I can't compete, so I need to fucking redo everything.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of sucky. Damn it.
To be honest, I was like, I gotta fucking find the series and start watching it, but I need to watch all of it in a row.
So, is it similar?
It's closer to the books, but Philadelphia is a vampire series taking place in inner city Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
where basically the founding
It's got to be
fathers
similar if they threw it out.
never died. They've actually been hiding in Philadelphia all this time, building an inner city army of vampires to change America. So,
Okay.
like, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams is like the father of the vampires at this point in the beginning, and Abigail's still alive, but she runs a whorehouse.
Okay.
It's a interesting series, but the Interview with the Vampire TV series was so good. He was like, I got to be better, and he threw out everything and started rewriting the script from scratch.
Damn.
And this is a guy.
Imagine that pressure though.
But he's been in the entertainment industry for a while because he was a writer on all the Wayans Brothers stuff, and he was a writer on the Boondocks.
Oh wow!
And he wrote the Wu-Tang, An American Life series.
Interesting.
And
but
he did the Lakers Showtime series on HBO. Yeah.
I mean, in a way, it's good. I mean, I'm saying it sucks because it's like, damn, we're not gonna get that till later, I guess. But in a way, it's good. I mean,
Competition.
Yeah, it'll bring the best out of him. So that's good.
But it was funny because he told us, and he's like, "Yeah, like he's like that fucking series changed my mind. I had to throw everything out." I was like, "Oh shit."
Crazy.
Wow, this show went on way longer than I thought. 2.5 hours.
Wait, did we wrap up on Nosferatu? I think we did, right?
We started to. I don't know if you gave your like final grade on it.
So, oh yeah, I said it was pretty much like you. What would you say, 3.5?
I think I was like 3.5 out of 5. Like it's
I'm right around there too. I would say the same. But it is solid. It's a solid. Oh yeah, I was saying that like if you haven't seen the older movies, I think you're gonna think this is
better.
like a 4 or 5 probably.
So
But
I love that people
because
made
we've
an
watched
event.
the old movies.
Like there was all these girls dressing up in gothic era clothing to go see the movie, and that part kind of like cheered me up seeing it becoming an event movie that people were
Oh, that's
dressing up
right. You were
for.
saying that. Hmm.
Um, so I'm curious because the 4K coming out has an extended edition.
I was gonna ask you about that. Did you manage to get one? I didn't.
I so groove.com, gruv.com has it
Yeah.
up for pre-order right now, so I pre-ordered mine.
I looked last night and it was sold out there.
I did it 2 days ago, so
Let me check again. Let me see.
Amazon might put it back up. Walmart.com
I
has
don't
weirdly been a resource for me.
same.
There
It
is
wasn't
also
even listed on there.
there's another site I love to use. It is Diabolic,
Oh
D-I
yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, with a K, not a C. It
Yeah.
diabolicdvd.com where I've ordered from, and they have the best fucking service.
But I'm not too worried if I don't get a hold of this and our
It's the
viewers
steelbook right now, so I think even non-steelbook will still have the extended
non-steelbook,
edition.
but also I do believe like this is such a good like horror that eventually later there'll probably be another release like at some point with maybe some kind of like
The regular release is going to drop. They drop the steelbook first, which
yeah.
whatever.
But there will probably be like maybe a boutique release at some point, I would think.
They'll be. I'm sure
With
Walmart
like
will have their
awesome
exclusive.
artwork, I'm sure, yeah.
It's bothered me
But
that Walmart has had such good covers lately.
dude, right? Isn't it? They're
It
doing
used to be
pretty good
Best
with
Buy,
that.
but Best Buy got out of the business.
Let's see if it's available. Yeah, it's sold out. It's sold out everywhere. But at least you got it. That's good.
Well, that's because I went right to Amazon. It was already sold out. I was like, oh, these motherfuckers fucked me on the substance already. So,
I don't mind holding off though. Like I'm
so
cool with that.
Amazon's been really bad lately. I pre-ordered the substance months ago, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, we don't have any available stock.
Check your Walmart because I literally I found it
I got
today.
it from Walmart.com.
Oh, good, good, good,
Couldn't
good.
get it local, but I got
Yeah,
next day
not
from
mine.
Walmart.com.
Yeah, it's not even listed on Walmart website. So, for those of us who didn't get a hold of it, I would say wait around. They'll probably restock, or like I said, maybe at
Nosferatu
some
in
point.
Venice. It's available on Diabolic DVD.
Severin.
The
Yeah.
Robert Eggers one is available from Diabolic DVD.
Is it?
$33.99. Yep.
Oh wait, the steel though?
It just says 4K UHD pre-order
Oh yeah. The regular versions are available
with
everywhere.
extended cut.
Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna hold off on getting that, but um
And they have the Werner Herzog, the 2-disc DVD edition. And yeah. So Diabolic DVDs, who I usually use for all the like weird indie shit that comes out because they're like a good
yeah,
in
that
between
good.
place, and I think they're in New Jersey, if I recall.
Yeah, I've ordered from them before. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I've had no complaints from them so far, other than like people might bitch that you have to prepay for all your pre-orders ahead of time, but they're very small. They're
Mm-hmm.
like literally operating out of an apartment.
Literally? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like 5 people running the entire thing.
Oh wow.
They don't really have a
Okay.
storefront. Um,
But yeah, so like um and yeah, just
It
following up. I do think that this movie's good for newer horror fans that maybe aren't as familiar with Nosferatu. I think they'll score it higher, maybe, but
if
I
you're
don't know.
pretentious assholes like us that have watched everything, then it's gonna be a little tough on you.
I didn't know Shadow of the Vampire.
Honestly, like so, Shadow of the Vampire is almost a comedy. Like it's,
Yeah, it is. It's so good. It's like a satire almost.
but if you look it up on YouTube, it's not the highest quality, but you get to watch it.
It's fun as hell. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
and
would
Willem
recommend it too.
Dafoe is. I can't even say he's overacting. He's just
He's being
having a great
himself.
time.
Yeah. You could, yeah. It's great. It's really great. I
I
still
mean,
have yet to see this one, but I'll probably that's the to-do list on the to-do list.
see, that cover is even different than what's on Diabolic DVD. They have a completely different cover, that one.
That's probably this one.
Okay, that's the actual cover. It says slip.
Yeah.
They didn't show the slip cover.
Yeah. I'll let you guys know next time. Next time how that one is. But yeah, no, I think Nosferatu is really good overall though.
So I love the artistry of it, and again, it's just little things that I couldn't get out of my brain.
Same. It was tough. It was tough, and I wished that Eggers had done a little more to make the storyline or the story, or even just present the story a little differently than we've seen in the past. But you know, it's still a solid film.
Yeah, it's again, it was hard to not compare it to some of the other movies because again, you see almost shot for shot,
Mm-hmm. Almost exactly. A lot
and
of the
that
same wides too, and like landscape shots, especially near in the Transylvania area, like when he's venturing out into, like heading over to where Arlok lives. Like it's very reminiscent to the other films. So yeah,
I have to say I'm super excited to see that the monkey movie.
me too. Me too.
That the trailer looks so good.
It looks great. I'm hyped for that. Yeah, it's gonna be honestly, I was talking to my friend Raf last night. Go check that out too. I was on No Show Podcast. It's in my community tab if you guys want to check it out. But we were talking about this and we are just like, man, it does seem like 2025 is gonna be really good for horror as well. So just like last year. So
20 years,
hopefully
28 years later, I'm curious to see
20 years later. I actually have some of them written down. We got
Quiet Place
Conjuring.
Part 3,
Really? I didn't know about that one.
Bambi the Reckoning. I mean, that sounds like it's gonna be horrible.
Conjuring Last Rites, which is the last film in the series.
Fear Street Prom Queen,
That one I'm hyped for.
Final Destination Bloodlines.
That one too. That one's gonna be awesome.
So Hack the Movies website, their YouTube, did a how Final Destination 2 ruined a whole generation. Because anytime you see one of those trucks with lumber on it, nobody's driving behind it anymore after that movie. Five Nights at Freddy. Ooh, Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro.
That should be interesting.
Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, Lars Mikkelsen, David Bradley,
I'm excited.
aka Pinhead.
I'm excited.
Hard Eyes, which I know is going to be terrible, but I'm going to watch it. Hell House LLC, King Spawn. One? I don't believe King Spawn will ever come out. Megan 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Pinocchio Unstrung. The Poohniverse, Monsters Assemble.
Have you seen those?
I've seen the Pooh movies. They're not good.
Were they poo-poo?
Ugh.
That's a yes.
Popeye the
Um,
Slayer Man.
oh God.
Predator Badlands, which is going to be on Hulu.
Is that like a sequel to
From Prey at a different
Prey?
timeline, like in part of the American history. It's gonna or world history. It's gonna pop up.
Oh, interesting.
Return of the Living Dead, a new one.
I'm very curious to know how that's gonna go.
Saw 11.
I heard that's not happening.
Ryan Coogler's putting out a horror movie called Sinners.
Oof.
I'm curious.
That's the vampire one, I believe, right?
A new Skyline movie, which nobody asked for.
Skyline. What's that?
That alien movie that came out a couple years ago that was in that apartment complex.
I don't think I saw
Thanksgiving
that.
Part 2.
Yay!
The Black Phone 2.
I didn't see the first one.
The
did I?
Conjuring Last Bride. The Damned. The Monkey. The Strangers Chapter 2 by Rennie Harlan. Definitely didn't ask for that.
I didn't see the remake, the first one.
Until Dawn. Based on the horror game by David F. Sandberg.
Oh yeah, somebody was mentioning that.
An
yesterday.
untitled Anaconda film.
Mm-mm.
My Anaconda don't want that.
Mm-mm.
I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel.
I'm excited for that.
An untitled Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Really?
I don't know how it can match Garbage Day. VHS 8.
They're on 8 already? I think
Apparently, yes.
I've only seen like 3, I think.
Wildwood, which I don't know anything about. So, gonna be interesting. The Bride with Maggie Gyllenhaal. She's directing.
Oh, I heard about that. That'd be interesting
With
too.
Christian Bale and Penelope Cruz.
I heard
Peter Sarsgaard and Annette Bening.
the spinoff of Insidious is happening this year too. Thread. That one I'm excited for because Mandy Moore's in it. I love her.
The Insidious movies, I've been kind of eh.
I thought the last one was bad, but I liked the ones previous to that, so I'm still hyped for it. Especially if Mandy's in it, because like she's a solid actress.
She's only been in one movie I really liked.
Which one? Walk to Remember.
No. What was the one where she's like super positive to everybody?
I don't know.
Shit.
I've only seen her in A Walk to Remember and in the show This Is Us, and she was awesome in that show. So I have faith in her.
It was the one with the Christian school.
I don't think. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Saved.
Yes,
dude, that movie rules. I love that movie.
That was the movie I mainly remember her from because she was
great in that too.
Such a wild bitch in that movie.
Yeah, I love her in that. She's a great actress. I'm glad that she kind of focused more on that than her singing.
Her love is like candy.
Oh, woof.
It's sad that I fucking remember that.
Oh, cringe. No, she's a great actress though. I love her. I do.
Oh, a lot of talk shows. God damn. Like her filmography of like talk show.
Oh yeah, because
what was that Emma Roberts show with Jamie Lee Curtis? I loved it. Was the not Final Girls. It was a horror movie kind of like thing, and it had one of the Jonas Brothers is like a killer in it.
I don't know. That sounds like something I probably.
It was a TV show. And it was totally fascinating watching me go through my IMDb.
I'm just sipping.
Let's see, Halloween Kills. It was before Halloween.
I like your pumpkin back there.
Oh, so one's from part 1, one's from part 6.
Love it.
The Trick or Treat Studios.
Nice.
It was after Halloween Resurrection, the best one. Should have brought Busta Rhymes back. Scream Queens. It's a TV series.
Was it good?
It was interesting. Especially it was Emma Roberts after her craziness in Scream 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which she might have been my favorite person in that whole series when she put herself through the glass table.
Yes. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that show.
The first season was really good. Carrie Fisher's daughter's in it, Billy Lord.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a kind of like every person in there has been someone's daughter or someone related to horror or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And
I remember when it was out.
All the girls in the show have the same name. So it's like really weird because there's like, I forget what they're called, but like one's like something 4.
Oh, like
there's 4 of them with the same name. There's 4 of them with the same name.
What the hell? That's weird.
Oh god, I can't remember what the fuck it's been so long since I watched that show. I haven't watched regular TV in a while.
Yeah, I just canceled my YouTube TV because they increased the price again. Now, it's $82 now, and it started
Netflix just raised it, and I was like,
that too.
I use it, and now they have WWE. I'm like, fuck, I can't cancel it because
I didn't cancel it because I actually do watch a lot of Netflix. I know a lot of people bag on it that like there's nothing to watch. I'm always watching Netflix. I don't know what they're talking about, but so I kept Netflix even though they increased the pricing. But yeah, I had to get rid of YouTube TV because it's just not worth it. Like
especially for the
65.
live TV, it's like there's not enough.
Everything goes to Hulu anyways that I'm interested in. So I have Hulu. So
all the girls' names were Chanel. There's like Chanel number 1, Chanel number 2, and Chanel number 3, and Chanel number 5.
Ridiculous. Is it Ryan Murphy?
No.
Who is it?
But it's Emma Roberts, Leah Michele, Abigail Breslin, Keke Palmer, Billy Lord, Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, I mean the director or whoever showrunner, I guess.
Let's see, written by Ian Brennan, directed by Barbara Brown.
Interesting. Okay, I gotta watch that.
It's so dumb. It's funny, especially the season 2. I think had Nick Jonas.
Okay, that's what you were talking about. All right. I didn't know he was in that.
It gets like weirdly super gay at a certain point where it's just like, wait, what the fuck's going on with this show?
Yeah,
and
that's kind of how I'm feeling.
It gets very meta because Jamie Lee Curtis is like in the shower. She's like, "You think you could fucking kill me with this shit? I've been through this shit over and over."
Oh my god.
Well, we've hit the 2-hour and 38-minute mark. I feel like we've talked about a lot.
Yeah, I think we covered all of Nosferatu and its movies that are
else
related. Yeah.
Not even close, and comic books because that's what we do.
Absolutely.
And then I'll probably end up sending you more recommendations for comic books that are horror, but you've got a list now.
Oh, yeah, you saw it.
Yeah. I do love that you have the little notes. Thank you very much, Las Cruces, because I feel like our conversation was fucking all over the map.
I enjoy this. This is my notepad. It's from Alien.
Now I see it. So I've been reading a lot of Rom V lately.
Rom
Um,
V?
yeah,
What is that?
he's a
Is that a
writer.
writer? Writer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he had a book that's like Blade Runner meets Seven. It's him and Dan Waters, and they each put out a volume. One was called The One Hand, the other one was called The Six Fingers. And it's a serial killer book that's in a dystopian society, and they each wrote a book that interacts with the other.
Okay.
So it's called The One Hand and The Six Fingers. So if you like Blade Runner and you like a mystery that's kind of a horror, but trying to figure out what's going on, it's kind of a mind fuck. That was one I
All right.
enjoyed.
Cool.
And it came
Let
out
me
as
read.
one volume.
Oh, nice. I like that. That's a lot easier for me.
And it makes it
That was-
easier to read between the two books because now they're in time.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
one came out later than the other one, and it caused the whole series to fucking clusterfuck together.
Mm.
And then Rom V did one that was an Indian tale about a gin called Rare Flavors. That the gin ate people. And he has a guy as a videographer going through the rare flavors that he liked. And every place they went to find out a recipe, he ate the people.
That sounds like a mindfuck.
It was interesting because it's one of those ones where it gets very introspective, but at the same time, it becomes like a food channel show.
Oh my goodness.
It was very weird.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But we're almost at the 3-hour mark, so I just want to thank everybody who joined us on this journey. I'm hoping that we can do more of these in the future where it might just become Jojo and Dan talk horror random shit for an hour or two.
Maybe I'll invite you over to A Hunger for Horror too, the horror show that I have on my channel, and we can just chat about it all there too.
That would be interesting too. Become the what did you grow up watching? How did your parents fuck your head up?
Yes.
Because at least we have the both thing with our parents. We're like, hey, we have no limitations. Why don't you sit here and watch this shit?
I'm actually so grateful, though, to be honest. Like,
honestly, I feel it makes me unique because they opened my eyes to this other stuff. I've always liked comedy. I've always liked sci-fi, but
I mean, okay, imagine if you didn't know all these movies and you were just finding out now. Like, that's a lot to go through at this point. It's really cool that we've known and have just grown up with these things like since we were kids. I think it's unique, like you said.
Weird ending spot. Like, what has the softest spot in your heart? 80s horror or 90s?
I'd say 80s, even though I watched all of that in the 90s.
So, like, there's a movie I rewatched recently, and it had Donald Sutherland in it. And I watched it as a kid, and I liked it. I don't think I appreciate it as much. The Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland and Leonard Nimoy in it has the most haunting fucking ending.
God, I don't think I've seen that in a long time.
Oh, the end is so fucking good because it's another one where it's so dystopian. Like, oh fuck, it's no happy ending.
Uh-huh. I need to jog my memory more.
Someone uploaded the whole thing onto YouTube.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yes.
I'll jog my memory then. Do that.
So the one thing you can get from this, watch Shadow of the Vampire. Just look it up on YouTube. It's on there. Because you won't be able to find it in physical except on DVD. So there's no real high quality version.
That's our goal, though. We're gonna try to find that on DVD for both of us. You keep an eye out.
I can find it on DVD. It's just I've been trying. So in Europe, they came out with a Blu-ray version of it.
Oh, you're trying to find Blu-ray.
But it won't play on our players. I don't have
Was it
a
region B?
multi-region, region-free player.
So okay. So the DVDs are easily
Yes, the
found.
DVD is easy to get. The
Okay.
4K, not so much.
So there is a 4K, but it's
Well, not 4K. Excuse me, Blu-ray.
okay. So it's just the Blu-ray that's hard to find, but it's region B probably.
It's region B, I believe. Yeah.
So yeah. I don't have a region-free player.
No,
I'm just
Carlito
gonna
of all
score the
people
DVD.
does.
I'll just score the DVD. I don't mind it.
And there's also, if you have a VHS player, there's VHSs out there that
I do have a VCR.
little pricier, but I have a copy of Terrifier 3 now on VHS.
Did you find it at Walmart?
No, it came with my box set.
Oh yeah. But there's another one at Walmart.
Oh, well, shit. No, I did not know that.
I've been trying to find that one too, because as you know, we like collecting multiples, but of different versions, different formats.
My hold on, my earphones died. Okay.
You didn't see my dance.
I saw a little bit of it. My fucking headphones died.
Oh my god. All right, maybe that's a cue for us to bounce.
Probably. Thank you so much for coming on and joining it. Like I said, it's been a year since the last time, and the last time I did Bad Donald Pleasance
Has
covers
it been a year?
Invitations. Yeah.
What?
I think it was like Halloween of last year.
Holy crap. That's wild. Okay. Yeah, we have to do this more often.
Definitely. And we'll probably see a lot more interesting stuff hopefully soon. Definitely Hard Eyes. I think I pre-ordered my tickets already, so I have to see a bad Valentine's Day movie because, reasons.
Reasons.
Thank you, everybody, again for joining us. If you could follow along with the conversation with how random it's been, great. It follows along with how this show normally is because, except without having to explain a lot of the horror stuff to Carlito along the way. He's getting there.
Carlito, please watch Fright Night. For God's sakes.
Yeah, this is. I had to bully you into watching The Thing, and you ended up loving it. Don't watch the remake of Fright Night. You need to watch the Tom Holland one.
Tom Holland.
And not Tom Holland from Avengers, Spider-Man. The old Tom Holland who was involved in Child's Play.
Yes.
So that is your mission, should you choose to accept it. But you're going to accept it.
He probably hasn't even gotten this far.
And we're going to make you watch Monster Squad because you need to. And I've talked to you about Night of the Creeps repeatedly. So.
Oh, my God. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to pre-order my NECA tonight.
Next episode, we're going to have our Tom Atkins figurines.
Yes, we are. You know it.
God bless that old man.
Absolutely. He was a sweetheart.
I wish my mom was alive to go, hey, Mom, did you want to fuck Tom Atkins? Who? The guy from Halloween 3. No.
Absolutely not.
So I used to confuse him with the guy in The Howling, which ended up being the husband of Dee Wallace.
Mm-hmm. I actually don't really like The Howling that much.
So it had good transformation scenes, but that was one of those movies that could have been good at one movie, and they put out 9 of them. Much like Tremors.
I can see that.
There's 7 Tremors movies.
Yeah.
I don't know how we have 7 Tremors movies, but there's 7 Tremors movies.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you, everybody. Good night, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you
Bye.
for having me on, too. It's been great.
Oh, no problem. I loved having you on.